Seven's telecast of the 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by the Toyota Kluger, the ultimate family SUV. Swiss, the official vitamin of the AFL. Le Cornu, it's all here. L'Oreal Paris Men Expert, look sharp, not tired. And TAB Sportsbet, you're on at tab.com.au.
For the Crows and the Power, 2011 has been a winter of discontent. With 2 games left to play, both sides are looking towards a brighter future. 2-time Premiership captain Mark Bickley has barely put a foot wrong.
And the Adelaide Crows continue on their way up.
Today, the Crows face the resurgent Tigers, hunting for 3 wins on the trot. Yes! Matthew Primus is going through a recurring nightmare. But they say it's always darkest before the dawn.
How good was that?
With Port's future now guaranteed.
It's a transition period which we've got to continue to support the club, and we will do that.
Today is another chance for the kids to earn their stripes.
Beauty!
They run into a hungry Bombers side, desperate to play finals football.
Good looking kick, it's another one!
It's a double header of South Australian football. The Crows and the Tigers, followed by the Power and the Bombers.
And first up, we're at Amy Stadium where, as you can see, the sun is shining. The odd brave Richmond supporter turning up. The barbecues would be going out there in the car park as the 19th man is there to help Adelaide get along against the Tigers. Good afternoon. Glad you could join us. Joining us also for the first game, Andrew Jarman. Jars, the sun is shining. Spring's just around the corner. If you're playing finals, you're up and about. What's Adelaide going to play for this afternoon?
Well, there's a lot to play for, Brucey. Obviously, players are playing for momentum next year. And 2 sides that have really struggled this year in terms of playing some good, consistent football. But the last month, we've seen these 2 sides play some exciting, attacking brand of football, which I'm looking forward to.
All right, but Mark Bickley gets to the audition continues.
Yeah.
You've got a decent opposition this time.
Yeah, Richmond have won the last 2 and playing some really good. Their midfield's been very productive for me for Richmond. They've got Vickery's a dangerous player, also Revolt. But Mark Bickley's had, 4 wins out of 5. And today's a good test for him in terms of his position as a coach.
All right, let's have a look at the Crows lineup. And there were no late changes, but Michael Dowdy's come down with a stomach bug, so he's out. Who's in?
Yeah, well, look, obviously Brodie Martin comes in, Bruce, and he played yesterday for Sturt. He had 19 possessions and he gets the call-up. So he's played 2 games in 24 hours.
So he's going to play 2 games. Now, this was during the week down at Amy Stadium. Would you suggest that maybe they knew back then that he was going to play this weekend?
Oh, he would have been told on Thursday night, look, you're going to have a run with Sturt. Don't get injured, but you'll definitely be suiting up today.
Yeah, Jars, you'd want to be young to get through 2 games in 2 days. Let's have a look at the Richmond lineup, Jars.
Yeah, look, I'm really impressed with their midfield. Dustin Martin's outstanding. He got Tuck. I think Tuck will run with Scotty Thompson. He won't run around and get 50 possessions. Foley's very important, but they run from their half-back, and you've got Rance and Post as their key defenders.
All right, we're talking about Adelaide and their games. The players were heading out onto Amy Stadium. As you can see, the sun is shining. A beautiful day for football. But the Tigers, they've actually got something to play for, and they'll be a challenge for Adelaide, won't they?
Oh, look, this will be a really terrific game of footy. I hope it's a shootout, and I hope the players are wearing the right boot wear, because I'm sick and tired of seeing players fall over. At this time of the day, Brucey, a lot of players will slip over.
All right, let's talk about Adelaide's the form so far. Gold Coast, Brisbane and Port Adelaide haven't really given you a good bead on their form under Bickley. Geelong was fantastic, the game against them. What about the Tigers? Well,
the Tigers will add a little bit more pressure around the ball. They're fierce, and Damien Hardwick will have them really... Look, they haven't won here in nearly 19 appearances. They've won 3 out of 19 appearances, so there's some pride on for the Richmond Footy Club today.
They're certainly heading the right way. Jars, we're going to take a break, then we head down to sunny Amy Stadium for the opening bounce.
On Today Tonight, our public transport bombshell confession.
They were falsely created.
The Insider and the phony student bus passes, directed to sign for parents.
Without the parents' knowledge.
The dodgy documents used to claim thousands.
This needs to be addressed immediately.
On Today Tonight.
At Radio Rentals, we won't be beaten with a smart 17.5% off all audiovisual. Would you believe it? 17.5% off all LCD and plasma TVs. And 17 17.5% off all home theater, Blu-ray players, and TV recorders. Why? With 17.5% off all hi-fi and iPods as well, it'll cause absolute chaos. Plus, there's up to 48 months, interest-free. But it must end this weekend, so hurry or you'll miss it by that much. Radio Rentals, we won't be beaten.
Are you dissatisfied with your current job, want to change, but don't think you can do anything else? Then talk to the VIP family and find out how you could double your income. VIP has been a household name for over 32 years. We provide you with all the training and support and teach you how to run your own business with guaranteed customers. Change your life forever. We have so much work and we need you. Call 13 26 13 now. VIP can change your life. Your future is up to you.
Hi, Trev. Have you got room in your fridge for a few things?
Why?
Well, the motor in mine burnt out, and it's not covered by my insurance.
Great. Whoa. What's that smell?
Blue vein cheese. It was on special, so I got a couple of kilos.
That's mine.
No use crying over it, Trev.
Some say it's an urban legend. Others swear they've seen it with their own eyes. The panther. They say he works in darkness. He runs with the pack. He's a hunter. Look, he's hungry. The Panther Power Cap sees all. High beam, power beam, floodlights. At only $19.98, the Panther Power Cap is perfect for Father's Day. And it's available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Greatness. It's hard to define and even harder to achieve. It's talked about in pubs and at barbecues. You can train for it, pray for it, even hold your breath for it. But it can't be bought. Greatness stands above all others at the end of the 4-week journey. And whether you're a fair weather or a fanatic, you know when you've seen greatness.
Life is full of amazing moments, and at Ted's Cameras, we'll help you capture them all with a perfect camera and lenses for you. Like this Sigma 10-20mm ultra-wide zoom lens, perfect for capturing large wedding parties or groups for just $649. Or this Sigma 150-500mm super telephoto lens that lets you get super close to wildlife for just $1,099. Plus at Ted's Photo Lounge, we'll help you bring your shots to life in dozens of creative ways. Ted's Cameras, helping you capture life.
Ready?
I'm ready.
You got a minute to win it.
Shake it, girl.
Aw, you gotta love Minute to Win It. Starts Monday, 7:30 on Mate.
Seven's telecast of the 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Bendigo Bank, supporting community footy. 4 and 20's legendary Angus beef pies. And Just for Men targets only the grey for a natural look.
After missing 3 games with a hamstring, Tippett returned with some new tricks.
Yeah, beautifully picked up one-handed by Tippett. Oh, that's a fantastic goal by the big man.
I'm not sure where they came from, but it all happened pretty quickly. But it was good to put those ones through. I've been practicing a few of those ones, so the practice is paying off.
And he relished the chance to do it on the Gold Coast.
It was very nice, always great to go home and play in front of the family and friends, and to have my younger brother play his first game out there. Shook his hand at the start of the game and then sort of forgot he was out there, and then gave him a high five after the game and said, well done.
Contracted to Adelaide next year, Tippett's had enough of the speculation surrounding him returning home in the future.
To be honest, it's a bit embarrassing. I just really want to play football, and to have all that sort of running around, it's not good for the footy club. I don't really enjoy it personally, so look, I'm glad that's behind me. I'm enjoying playing under Bix. He keeps his message pretty simple, and I think he's obviously getting good performances out of the boys, so it's a lot of fun playing right now.
There's been doubts Tippett and Taylor Walker can coexist in the Crows' attack, but Tippett said their combined 8 goals was a sign of things to come.
It's something that we're going to continue to develop because we haven't played a lot of football. I think there's only a handful of games this year where we've actually played together. But look, I really enjoy playing with Taylor, and I know we can make it work and work really well like we did on the weekend.
Jars, he looked at home up on the Gold Coast last weekend. He's got one more year at the Crows in his contract. What's your mail?
Look, I think he'll go back in 2013, Bruce. He'll go and rejoin his younger brother who played on the weekend against him, and And I think Adelaide Crows fans just enjoy him for one more year next year.
All right, I'm sure he'll play good footy for the next year too. Who are you picking? Adelaide, Richmond this afternoon, and why?
I'm going for Adelaide because I think their midfielder's got a bit more depth, and they got Taylor Walker and Gunston and Tippett firing. So 3 goals for me.
That's all right, Jase. You can change your tips at quarter and half time as you did the other week.
I did that
last time, Bruce. All right, let's head and join our Foxtel coverage. It's Adelaide and Richmond. The Crows have won the toss and they're kicking to the right of screen.
Welcome to those joining us for the first time. And Adelaide kicking to the right of screen in the opening term. You mentioned start well. Lynchy, 9-goal first quarter against the Gold Coast last week for the Adelaide Crows. That set it all up.
Yeah, it did, and that's what they've been doing extremely well. Even when they lost to Geelong, they got off to a reasonable start, and it's hard at the contest. Their centre clearance work is a real key, and Sam Jacobs is one of the players that's leading the way. In some really good touches, the ruckman. They're probably struggling for a ruckman over recent years, but he's certainly found his feet and playing well.
Good toss to win, Adelaide. They're kicking with the Bruisers, Glenn Jakovic, 3 to 4 goals. So look for Tippett and Morgan. It'll be interesting to see whether Damien Harwick elects to, as you see Jack Rewalt there. It's going to be a great duel with Ben Rutten, no doubt. They've got a little bit of form, those two boys. So it'll be interesting to see whether Damien Harwick applies the extra player behind the ball. I don't think he'll do that early. There's Taylor Walker. So Taylor Walker, as I said, signed the dotted line this week. So his enthusiasm levels will be up. Looks like he's walking to the goal square and tip it up the ground, which is interesting. So Rance going to Taylor Walker. Thursfield going to Tippett. For the midfield battles, Wilkie, Cochin.
Well, it's Cochin and Thompson.
Yes.
Absolute ripper.
And we're underway at AAMI Stadium. Jacobs' initial palm down.
Locked in, my ball.
Heard the umpire tell the story. Stefan Grun, Jeff Dalglish, Stuart Wen, the umpires today, and that's the voice of Stefan Grun you heard.
It looks like Van Berlo has gone over to Cochin now.
Speak of the devil, Van Berlo. It's the first inside 50. Taylor Walker, red slipped. Taylor Walker, first kick across the face. Petrenko read it well.
Well, Wayne, both Richmond defenders slipped. Now we know that
he plays on dangerously, but it's okay, and it'll be Thompson coming off in that 51 possession game last week to start well.
Well, he's the man of the moment, there's no doubt in that, but Damien Harwick will be asking the runner, get out to those Richmond defenders, because they've both slipped over, Ellis. You know what it's like?
Doesn't matter how hard the ground is, you put the long sprigs in when you're playing down back.
And there's the perfect start we talked of.
The roads are tough out here, even if there are roads.
Day after day, they're out there.
If I see a man bag, it's your bag, sir. It's going straight in the creek.
Defending the country against softness.
When did you have your last latte, sir? Purple slippers, sir. Who do they belong to?
A dedicated team of men and women armed with Land Cruisers and Prados.
We appreciate the services of Border Security.
Stop that one. Toyota, guys, let it through. It's about reliability out here. You need a vehicle that's reliable.
Prado, Land Cruiser, and Country Border Security.
Nothing soft gets in, that's our motto.
Century last week.
Magnificent start there. As we said, Thompson off a PB last week. What a start.
Well, he lined up next to Cochin, and unusually they actually shook hands and probably said, I'll see you in 2 hours, and we'll see if we can have 50 each.
Flick down, Jacobs and Graham. Jackson gets a clearance of sorts, cut off by Riley. Van Berlo again, kick smothered this time. Thompson will have to hunt this down. Little tap out, Nahas gets there first. Houses it towards the line. He was grabbed for a second. Split second. Martin pushes Thompson. Umpire tells them to cut it out.
It's been tucked, Cochin. They're all trying to work Thompson over, and he'll like that, Scotty Thompson, because all he has to do is focus on the ball.
Tuck almost corrals him as this ball is thrown in, but stolen. So good news for Cochin fans. Inside 50, and another slip, and Tyrone Vickery takes the mark. And this time, Sean McKernan who slipped.
Now, this is unbelievable. We've got both defences costing their teams shots at goal. Now, it could be 2 goals. We have to wait for Vickery to kick the goal. Both coaches would be miffed, because that is so frustrating, Alistair, when, you know, they're the basic things, the little things that you just take for granted.
That was a slip, not even with a big shove either. It's just no good, that one.
Ty Vickery, not the kind of player Adelaide want to let get some confidence early, and that splits the middle, scores a level.
Swiss, the official vitamin of the AFL, are giving you and a friend the chance to win seats at the Brownlow Medal and the 2011 Toyota AFL Grand Final. With luxury accommodations and airfares, don't worry about what to wear. They'll give you a makeover and dress you too. Just purchase any Swiss product from Chemist Warehouse or My Chemist and enter in-store or online. Plus, every valid entry receives a bonus $10 Swiss gift card. Tired? Stressed? You'll feel better on Swiss.
Is that still a rule, Danny? It was an old rule. Is it still a rule?
I'm sure. Well, maybe. But
well, it is for key defenders,
for
mate.
defenders,
It should be, yes.
have to be. You only take the long sprigs out once the feet start bleeding. You just got to keep on.
No, I agree with that. Totally agree with it.
Just off the bench, getting a little kick right towards half forward. So they've made a double change, Adelaide. Started on the bench, did Matthew Wright. Ball shuffled out. Martin extracts a kick. It'll be coming back. Jacobs high. Gunston. Post was there with a fist. Grigg just overran it. Vince throws a handball out. Post gets back. Well played. Under some pressure, Delidio. Back to Post. Slaps it to Rance, who fumbles it across. One of you Richmond fans back this year. No, don't tell me. That's not seen as deliberate, is it? That was a definite fumble.
Absolutely seen that as deliberate. That's.
But the umpire doesn't know Rance.
Nah, that's right. That's a little bit harsh. Good point.
Well, that is hot.
He was under pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
If there's no pressure on the player, I understand that, but he was under extreme pressure.
And it was a genuine fumble.
Yeah,
he genuinely tried to collect that, and Gunston takes full toll.
When Eric and I found out I was pregnant again, we knew we need a bigger family room and a new nursery. So we went to Bendigo Bank to refinance our home loan. We're customers because of their great rates and friendly service. But what really makes a difference is Bendigo Bank puts profits back into the community to help build things like this nursery, so mums with prem babies like mine feel at home.
It starts with you.
The man that says he's not under pressure hasn't played fullback on a nice, shiny, sunny day.
Crowd in full voice again. And the ball up. Take away from Martin. Hacks it inside 50. Revolt can't get a fly at it. Cochin through some traffic. Foley. It's in pretty good form at the moment, and Vickery loses his man again.
Wayne, that kick from Foley was outstanding. He looked in the corner of his eye under pressure and put the ball to space to Vickery as a midfielder. We know he had a terrific game last week, Nathan Foley. But
So you're giving him credit for that kick?
No, I reckon he had a quick look to the left and kicked it to space, and like a good forward, allowed Vickery to run onto it.
To the Blues. 45. Strikes it well. Adelaide 2 goals. Vickery 2 goals.
It's not discussed often, but the Scots have never been very welcome on the Australian worksite.
Oh, Lachlan! For God's sake, man! Use your knees!
Until now, with the 420 legendary Angus meat pie, made with only the finest Angus beef, it's welcome on any worksite.
Damien Hale will be wrapped with the spread of goal kickers. We talked about last week, 11 goal kickers. Start of the season was, a lot of people were critical. We need to embrace more forwards, and already Miller 3 last week and already Vickery 2 today.
Thompson just hassled as he was about to collect it. Umpires found a high. It's a Richmond 3. Foley's ball.
They've been inside their 450 twice, the Tigers, for 2 goals. A perfect football at the minute.
Delidio keeps it low. Rutten front spot and buffeted by Miller. Free kick.
That's a real let-off. Adelaide defence would have known they're under pressure. The ball's running twice for 2 goals. And just to get out of jail, kick like that is too easy for mine.
Yeah, good work from Rutten to get the front position as well.
Rutten heads wide to McKernan, who also signed a new contract during the week, but hasn't started all that well with the new contract. 2 goals kicked on him already. Sits this up. Vince flies. Walker flies. No one brings it down. Delidio handball. Nahas collects and takes them on and goes all the way home. Tigers in front.
TAB Sportsbet Market Update.
Hi, Jamie Rogers here. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon footy. Did you know that TAB Sportsbet offers live betting in play on every AFL match? You can bet live on the first goal kicker in every quarter, plus a range of other exciting options. Visit tab.com.au to check out all the markets and bet live on 133 390.
Sportsbet.
The best game of his career was here a couple of years ago. He had a 5-goal game, Robin Nahas. So he likes AAMI Stadium.
Certainly does, and we know his defensive pressures are important, but he can kick multiple goals as well.
It's an amazing game. We've had 30 disposals and 5 goals. 6 disposals per goal at the moment.
Well, that's where the clearance work for both teams going really well. They're getting it out in space and being able to have the time to use the ball.
Mad scramble. 20 players around this ball. Tuck on the bottom and in the middle of it. Claiming they didn't really have it. It comes out. Umpire gives them an enormous amount of time. Tippett to Thompson.
Oh, that's a free kick.
So Sloan wins himself a free, being held by Thursfield.
He didn't need to do it, Thursfield. He had Sloan beaten for height and he engaged in contact. He just had to play goal side and spoil the ball.
Makes it more obvious when you're wearing a big black glove as well. Dangerfield inside 50. Gunston had it but spilled it. Douglas likewise. Back to Gunston. Right. Hands it out to Walker. 50 from goal. Outside 50. High centering bomb. Graham stands over and beaten for it by Vince.
Grab from Bernie Vince under a long high ball, and just as once again the defenders aren't playing well here in these nice conditions. The forwards are doing an exceptional job, but that was a disappointing attempted spoil, and I'm sure we'll see the replay here in the screen, and that's a disappointing one. That's a good mark. It shouldn't happen.
That was his to mark, let alone spoil, and scores a level again.
It's a physical sign of aging.
Oh, you look tired.
But forget radical cosmetic surgery. Thermal imaging reveals there's a simple solution to a complex problem.
How just breathing can keep the bags at bay.
Melody Horrell's special medical report, half-time of the footy on 7 News.
It all starts tomorrow.
The new X Factor begins Monday 7:30 on 7.
The goal kicker off, and the man who's been given a cook, Angus Graham, into the middle for this bounce. We'll see what he comes up with as a response. 3 goals apiece. Tippett runs into him. Thompson can't call that a possession. Martin does. Get the possession. He had it, got up, kicked it, half forward. Cochin slips it out. Jackson, little fumble, mops up his mess. Caught a little high. Play on. Umpire told him he ducked. Ball up.
The umpires are aware of that these days. Modern footballers are turning their head into traffic to initiate that head-high contact.
I think that's still a high grab, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Definitely. It's an open game. There's no sweepers at all at the clearances. That's why we're seeing a lot of goals scored.
Rewald kicks it towards goal. Miller claims he was held. Morton taken across with a little help from his friends.
And I don't mind it. I don't mind having an attacking mindset from both teams. The crowd will love it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll like it as commentators, but you need to get a balance.
At some stage, one coach is going to have to say, we've got to get some defensive pressure here.
Play on the court, Talia, Thompson, Rutten, all getting a piece of the action. Van Berlo got it out to Dangerfield, and he fumbles. This hasn't been his year. Patrick Dangerfield, and this one rolls out, coming off a 16 possession game only last week, even though it was a win. Just hasn't risen to that all-Australian level that many people thought he would pre-season. The ball in, Cochin almost the steal. Van Berlo wrapped up. In fact, Glenn Jakovic downstairs, I think, had some news on Patrick Dangerfield pre-game. We might check in with Jacko shortly.
There's Trent Cochin there. That's a positive of the Tigers. Martin, Delidio, Cochin. all 3 or 4 disposals each, so they're getting a little bit of the ball early.
Tippett knocks down. Edwards thought about going off the deck. King keeps it alive. Tuck. And King's been given a free for a push.
Yeah, Dwayne, just quickly with Patrick Dangerfield, he will be having post-season surgery on it. Small little foot issue, and I think in his plantar fascia, I think he's got a slight tear in it. So once the season finishes, he'll be going straight in. Whether that's hampered his performance this year.
So they're painful.
Little Jake King opens up the angle for the lead back. Gee, that was a pretty good try.
Now, they are painful, those plantar fascias. Dual Brownlow medalist Robert Harvey, halfway during the season, they said surgery, which is the season out, and the only way you can do it is keep jumping off the kitchen bench and snap it on the ball of your foot.
Yeah, no, might go into that later on, but yeah, I had a similar sort of story.
John Cock.
Good spoil. That's a bit better.
Hang on, he deliberately broke his own plantar fascia.
Had to snap the tendon, Dwayne, and it took him, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but 5 jumps, Dwayne.
5 jumps off the chair, off the table.
Biting on nails, doing it.
That leap would be...
Why didn't he go a bit higher? Why didn't he go off the roof or something else? Just do it in one.
Yes, that's right, Jacko, a bit soft.
Back into play. So Tippett's still doing some ruck work and does pretty well, except he gives it up to Cochin. Vickery. Martin said, no, it's my ball, it's on the deck. He rolls it to 50. Rutten overruns it. Revolt. Otten. Rutten. Armstrong. Cochin catches him by the ear, according to the umpire.
You said there, Spud, about Martin good strength. I want to be on Martin watch today to see if he actually gets taken to ground. Because he just rarely goes to ground at all.
Right.
Yeah, no, I know it is. I've seen it for the last few weeks.
Right on the outer side, half-back flank. Matthew right short. You're working well today, Lynchy. Otten.
It's a beautiful day for it.
It is. Another slip.
Armstrong. And he floats that. Thursfield, he protected his man away from the ball and didn't really go for the ball himself. McKay gathers the leather. Back to right. Thompson. Off you go, play on, was the call. Vince goes long, all the way to goal. In fact, it's Van Berlo kicked it.
TAB Sportsbet Market Update.
Hi, Jamie Rogers here. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon footy. Did you know that TAB Sportsbet offers live betting in play on every AFL match? You can bet live on the first goal kicker in every quarter, plus a range of other exciting options. Visit tab.com.au to check out all the markets and bet live on 133 390.
Well, just a lack of defensive pressure. Daniel Jackson was caught ball watching and just allowed Van Berlo at the back. That's inexcusable. When your player gets in a really dangerous position, you need to man him up, especially when he runs into an open goal like that.
Here he is, Van Berlo again, rolls it to half forward. Trenko attacks Hooley hard with the tackle. Grigg, Douglas, Thompson and Douglas combine. And inside 50, Thursfield can't get there with the fist. Tackle late, umpire watching on for a couple of metres away. Says, I'll have it.
Is it blustery down there, Jacko? Because we expected Tippett and Walker to have an impact.
It is quite whirly down here, but one thing that I've noticed with the Adelaide Crows forwards, they're definitely all playing in front. It's obviously something that they've pre-planned before the game, make sure everyone plays in front.
Post.
Oh, he's near missed the slipper.
And normally again. What Richmond need to do now is forget that and man up.
Post delivery is normally a lot better than that. John Cock, Riley to the pocket, and Wright takes the mark.
That should be a good day here today.
Boundary line.
Now, what's inexcusable having, we know he's a ball magnet, but you just man him up. I know the tuck was on him, but he opened up the leg rope about 10 metres.
Absolutely, dropping defensively, and you can't afford to do that, especially when there's, as Jacko said, 19 knots of breeze going right of screen. He'll get the journey quite easily from about 54.
5-point margin. And he gives it a run. Just misses to the near side.
That's not knowing the conditions, Shane Tuck, because you You must know there's a strong breeze. Had to be hip on hip there.
Oh, yeah, and that's a real defensive mentality. I mean, and that's the thing, but you've got to understand these presses and zones and that sort of stuff, and where your direct opponent is when you've got to run with roll.
And also play to the conditions as well.
Hooley long revolt from 4 deep, but he was beaten to it in the end by Post, who wants to make amends to his last possession.
We know he can take a very good mark. That was a great contested mark in the pack.
Looking to spread here, but they've got no numbers out this side. Got to be careful here.
Turnover, Douglas. He's got a fingernail on it, feeds back into it. Ignores a couple. Short to right. Wide, Petrenko, another slip.
Well, at the moment, the Tigers are going 47% by foot, and this is the difference in the game.
Rolls back outside 50. Right over Ranit. The handball out, but it's another mad scramble. Morton tries to hold it in. Came out. And Burlow again. That time across the face. Started with some strapping on his knee as well, Nathan Van Berlo. So good that he's been able to take that off and move a little more freely.
Well, the real concern for Richmond, Adelaide have been inside their forward 57 times for 6 scoring shots. So at some stage, one of the players out there needs to man up and play some really strong defensive spoiling mindset, or even halve a contest.
Vince. Central kick. Perfect kick.
Yeah, good positioning again. And once again, slack when you've got class midfielders finding space inside 50.
Alistair, ball watching. Yep. 3 Richmond players guarding space, watching the ball, and then they watch the ball go into Van Berlo's hands. One of them had the man up. He's in a really dangerous spot. He's kicking with the wind, and he's kicking from 50 metres.
And this is where sometimes zones and presses you can be unaccountable for direct opponents.
Oh, gee, that's horrendous.
Well, it's letting Richmond off the hook. That's what it's doing, Wayne.
Absolutely. Adelaide Crows operating at 72% by foot. Richmond currently at 50%. And as we touched on before, Post, he's just not delivering at the moment. 33%, Dwayne.
Poor kick by Van Berlo, boys, but he's had the last 3 shots at goal for the Crows. So Richmond have got to shut him right down.
Jacobs flies. Ball hits the deck. Talia had a chance. Couldn't find a teammate with it. Slung was Revolt, but he got a possession away. King attacked it. John Cock likewise. Sloan under some pressure. Rutten.
Oh, fumble.
And all the way back to the middle now. And no one going anywhere. Has been erring at goal all his career, Nathan Van Berlo. He's running at 40% his entire career as we see the Rutten fumble. It's not really good enough to be at that level as a goal kicker these days, 40%.
They've got Dustin Martin at full forward, Brent Riley. So this is a crucial contest.
Free kick off.
Have a look at Dustin Martin on Riley here.
1-on-1 now. This usually results in a goal for Richmond.
This is a great matchup for Richmond if they can get the ball quickly to him.
Miller, Delidio, Foley, gang tackle and dropped it.
Great tackle.
Although he drop-kicked it.
It's great to see some defensive pressure from someone. That was great tackling.
Van Berlo bumped on the kick. Vickery attacks it. Vince grabs the crumb. Petrenko runs away with it, and it opens up. Right, he needs a target. Heads wide. Gunston, ton of space. Just needs to be steady. Tip it. Goal square. Goal. Biggest lead of the game. 13 points.
It all starts tomorrow.
Dream this big
is worth fighting for.
You have it, and then some.
Fan-bloody-tastic.
You could win this.
You're gonna want to experience this.
The new X Factor begins tomorrow 7:30 on 7.
Super play, boys, from the half-back line. What the vision didn't show is that 2 Richmond players came off the interchange, and with the advantage rule was called into play, it was a 2-on-3 or 2-on-5 effectively in the end, and Petrenko worked his way through, so he did a very fantastic job for the Crows.
Started with a 9-goal first term last week, Adelaide. Right now they've kicked 5, and they're
again
on the surge. No free for a little in the back opportunity. Gunston was the diving player for Adelaide. Rance takes it out. Little fumble again.
Been some great transition from one end of the ground to the other by the midfield of the Adelaide Crows at the moment. Some exciting players out there on the ground. Van Burlo's got involved, Thompson, Wright, Vince, and there's the hit-outs. 11-2 in favour of Sam Jacobs and Tippett for the Adelaide Crows.
Grigg bangs it out of the area. Riley gathers, but is in turn gathered by Rewalt. Just waited for him to pick it up. Nahas, Edwards to half forward, open forward time line. Martin takes the mark. He's got plenty of time.
Well, he's against the wind. He'll have to hold it up because he won't get the trip kicking into the breeze.
No in the square. He goes for Jake King of all people. John Cock slaps it out and gets away with it.
Yeah, it was probably the kick had to go to the goal square when he
back one of his teammates to run it out and win the race.
Well, King was on his bike, so the kick was to the goal umpire. Jacobs, he's been outstanding. He ranked 4th in the competition for hit-outs, 7th hit-outs to advantage. Much improved player.
He's loved this move over here. Really found his feet.
Graham. Little fumble initially. Heads wide with a pass opportunity. It was Jamie O'Reilly. And now Morton will have the shot.
Will he have the protection of the crowd? The grandstand there, Glenn Jakovich, Morton?
Oh, you would think he would. We'll just wait and see how he goes. His preparation, he was kicking him before the game there, so be interesting to see whether he can do it now and play.
Left goal post and should get the journey by a couple of metres, but needs to take that left post.
Opens up the angle a bit, and the breeze keeps it in. Perfection.
A nice conversion. Just felt that he was probably on his limit, so he swung out to the right and really loaded up, and that certainly can produce a big pull. And see the Dangerfield clearance just wasn't effective enough, and Richmond had some good sweepers in place. But Morton, we know he can kick goals. Hasn't kicked a lot this year, but certainly he's got the potential to kick big numbers. Right on his limit from 50 and teed it up and really flushed it. So nice goal and an important answer for the Tigers, who were just starting to slip off the pace, but now bring it back to 7 points.
Jacko did say that breeze was worth a couple at least.
Well, it's been a good attacking game of football. Dangerfield's kick from that stoppage had to go wide. It went in the corridor, opened it up for the Tigers to attack.
It was short and through the corridor, so that was almost 2 crosses in the box.
Jacobs gets his own clearance. First field, hunts it. Tippett was right on his hammer. Rance, slip, gets up, weaves some magic to the wing. Miller needs to go. Rutten, Farmer, ducks out of it. Cochin almost got one for too high. Umpire let it run. Foley to Jackson. Touch play on Armstrong, leaves it behind. Nahas attacks it. Half held, hassled off it by Douglas. Nahas gets it back from Edwards. Turnover. Riley. Jacobs, Dangerfield, Armstrong. Gets it away to Sloan just in time. Crowd enjoying this contest.
Oh, Rutten's been dropped behind play as well. Bit happening off the ball.
Has the umpire seen it? Is it going to be an Adelaide free kick where the ball is?
I think it is.
I think it has been, actually.
Well done, umpire.
Well, when he blew the whistle, I think that ball might have been inside 50.
Yeah,
it was. It was 45 out.
So that was 120 metres off the ball where Rutten was felled. There was a bit of a fracas before that.
It was Shane
with Cochin involved, but then Edwards came over and a little cheeky on Rutten when he wasn't looking.
There's 3 umpires there. There's always an umpire at that end of the ground.
Top of the square, McKay instead. Gunston can't get the jump at it. Tuck. Wobbles it outside 50. It'll be coming back. Riley to the pocket. Vince can't mark. Off hands and ball in.
So you're not a good one when you don't want to give free kicks away when you're that far off the ball. When you're giving free kicks away at all.
Graham and Jacobs tie up. Flick down right.
Great tap from Jacobs.
We'll play to Riley. Rance. King.
He's going to have to be patient here, though, because John Cox 50 metres behind the ball. There's a 2-on-1 now, but it's just going to have to be pretty patient, probably chip inside or long down the line.
Grigg. And he tumbles one towards half forward. Miller Little tap out Edwards. He's got Jackson running for him. Jackson sees an open goal, keeps it low and drives it through. A 1-point game.
Well, that's what they needed. Certainly the Adelaide Crows have had a couple of opportunities where they're inside 50s, where they're sort of leading the way 13-10, but they're able to get to a bit of a scrappy kick up the line where they're outnumbered, but just a nice little run into space from Jackson, and Edwards just looked after him with a nice little handball on the inside to make up for the free kick a few minutes ago. Just what they needed, and I reckon with that wind advantage, Richmond will be very comfortable going in at quarter time, just a 1 point down.
Did mention at the start, both these teams coming in off good form. Richmond having won their past 2. Adelaide having won 3 of their last 4.
Great result for Richmond against the Breeze. This is a very good result.
Tippett knocks it down. Foley got the kick away. Okay. Kicks it wide, hoping for Sloan to track it down. Bounce was unkind to him initially. Hooley can't take him out. In fact, he does take him out. Tucker Hooley coming off a couple of good games in a row as well. Maybe the best run of form of his career as well, back early.
There's Mark Bickley. He would have been happy with the start. It'd be interesting, love to be a fly on the wall at quarter time to see if he tells his boys to tighten up. Just a couple of easy goals late in this quarter to Richmond.
Well, yeah, you're right, Spud. General feel of the game without looking at the scoreboard, you felt, I would feel Adelaide Crows have been in pretty good control. They've dominated possessions 80-59. Inside 50s are their way as well.
Contested possessions.
Contested possessions, clearances. They've used the ball better. But Richmond have just found a way. When they've gone inside 50, they've used the ball well.
Van Berlo gets and takes off. Gunston the target. 2 Tigers fly. Gunston couldn't get near it initially. Centering kick to Petrenko. Cut off by Farmer. Takes on Douglas, gets a handball. Foley, Hooley.
They're getting the extra back now, Richmond. That's why they got the released one.
Not a lot to go to, though. Martin's not a bad one-on-one.
He's a good, great contested mark.
Keeps it low. Miller came up from half forward. Ridden a little, tackled, over it. It's on the ball or too high. It's too high.
Dustin Martin is getting plenty of the ball. He's going at 14%. He's had 7 kicks. He needs to improve his kicking.
Morton, long, Vickery, held up, couldn't get the run and jump. Dangerfield, Otten. Adelaide might be able to reload from half-back. Talia under some pressure again. Touch play on was a call. Morton down to 90 seconds. Miller comes back to Farmer. Vickery waits for the bounce. Keeps it in well. Nahas takes off from 50, sees the big sticks.
Oh, that was great play from Vickery.
It was good play from Vickery, just to flick it into Nahas. Just couldn't finish it off, but here's the tap. Yeah, nice little bit of work from the big ruckman forward. But their defensive pressures have been really good. They've been able to force some key turnovers at critical times when the Adelaide Crows are going through the corridor.
Okay, bombs it all the way outside 50, but initial tackle Talia to Van Berlo to Vince, and now Armstrong.
They're out the back again here.
Petrenko needs to get and go. Oh, he bumped off Rance, takes off, he bounced off him like a rubber ball, and now the goal opens up and he misses.
Yeah, it's a let up there for the Tigers. He used him as a springboard. It was beautifully called, Dwayne. He had to be better than that, Rance. He had to know. Just have a look. Just had to get goal side. He's elected to get side on, which opened up the goals for Petrenko. Had to get goal side first and then initiate contact. So then the bump goes away from Adelaide's goal. So went side on, was fraught with danger.
Cotchin not paid the mark. Yeah. Right hands it back. Another snap at goal. Van Berlo nails this one.
Alistair, you got your wish. The scoreboard was indicative. We thought the Tigers run really well. It's the ball use. Yep. That's been the difference in the game. 51%. Just a short turnover against the Breeze. I know it's fine conditions, but there was too many players around for that option there.
Was that that was a little bit stiff. It was almost a mark or an arm chop. It was borderline. No, certainly short in the corridor was very high risk, but it's very little unlucky he didn't get paid the mark.
What a start from Van Berlo. And those include under the coaching of Mark Quickly. 13 disposals, 2 goals, 1.
Look at that mark. Did he have control?
Yeah.
I reckon he had control of that.
He got an arm.
And an arm as well.
Yeah, so there's two free
at
kicks missed.
Yeah, that was very unlucky for Conchard.
Lucky, that was a hometowner.
Yeah, it was.
Jackson rolls it to half forward with the seconds ticking. Edwards attacks it. Down to 30. McKernan knocks it out nicely. Alton. Vince handball cut off, so he mops up his own mess. Caught, slung, dropped it. No free. Riley hands it out. McKay. Crows still a chance at a late score. Van Berlo, McKay, Thompson. Down to 15. Bounced it to Walker. Takes them on. Slips a handball up. Tippett. Bangs it towards goal. That is brilliant. On the buzzer.
What a fantastic build-up. And actually, I'll tell you what, Van Berlo needs to get an opponent. There's no one within 10 metres of him. He's on the 14 disposals here. He was in the middle of the ground by himself. Thompson set this up. Nice, bit of an ordinary kick towards Walker, but as we saw from last week from Kurt Tippett, around the body on the right-hand side, he's just snapping them everywhere at the moment. So, very good goal with just a few seconds remaining.
No, it's an amazing goal. I think all the focus on Thompson. Van Berlo is getting under the guard because they're hitting up Scott Thompson at will. He's had the 8 disposal. It's been the Van Berlo show. You see Mark Bickley talking to David Noble there. He'd be a little bit more relieved now. The last minute and a half. On the flip side, Damien Hardwick, he won't be too happy.
That's right. 2 quick goals to Adelaide. Probably squared this quarter up.
Just enough time for a bounce, and that's about it. Quarter time at AAMI Stadium. Bragg getting their money's worth.
How many goals, Wayne?
12 goal opening term. It might be 12th and 14th on the AFL ladder, but they're putting on a show. 7-3-45 to 5-2-32.
Do you ever think, what are we doing here?
What Australia's wounded have to say about the war in Afghanistan will make you question everything.
You're fighting a ghost?
No spin doctors, no politicians.
Do you believe in the cause?
Just the real story.
You're not going to get in trouble saying the wrong thing.
And what does Peter Cosgrove have to say?
I think we should review Afghanistan every day, every week, every month.
On Sunday night.
Figo, looking strong, Luis.
We have to take care of ourselves.
Just for men, nothing is easy and nothing looks better.
Still got it.
Just for men.
A couple of months ago, we kept hearing this really irritating noise coming from the back of the car. Drive us up the wall. So I dropped it into our local Ultra-Tune. They were fantastic. They fixed the brakes that afternoon. And now, well, the annoying sound, it's completely gone.
Trav, you there?
What?
I've been stuck on the toilet for over an hour.
What are you telling me that for?
I'm really stuck. I accidentally cracked the toilet and it's not covered by my insurance. So I tried to fix it with super glue. Insurance companies, Trev, they really are a pain in the...
Slow down and catch up with the sports section in this weekend's Sunday Mail. SA's leading sports writers bring you interviews, stats and analysis on all kinds of sports, including soccer, tennis and netball, plus a deeper look at the AFL and SANFL. It's a serious sports read. You'll find it all in the Sunday Mail this weekend.
Love my Sunday Mail.
Garnier Innovation for Men. New Garnier Men Mineral Extreme Deodorant with Mineralite. 48-hour protection, 48-hour dryness. Proven effectiveness even under extreme conditions. New Garnier Men Mineral Deodorant.
Take care.
Garnier.
At
At Radio Rentals, we won't be beaten with a smart 17.5% off all audiovisual. Would you believe it? 17.5% off all LCD and plasma TVs. And 17.5% off all home theater, Blu-ray players, and TV recorders. Why, with 17.5% off all hi-fi and iPods as well, it'll cause absolute chaos. Plus, there's up to 48 months interest-free. But it must end this weekend, so hurry or you'll miss it by that much. Radio Rentals, we won't be beaten.
In the coming years, clutch in. You'll miss third 37 times.
Oops.
Not spot the speed bump 72 times. Survive 23 tantrums. And after hundreds of thousands of kilometres, you'll trade the one you love for the one you love. No matter what you put your Toyota through, you'll find that enduring quality also makes for excellent resale. That's what makes it a Toyota.
The 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by the Toyota Kluger, the ultimate family SUV.
Damien Hardwick not very happy, particularly the last couple of minutes. It looks like not happy with Brendan Lay there, trying to explain what happened. Mark Bickley, a bit more calm, a bit more collected, as he should be. His team kicked 7 goals. We checked the quarter-time scoreboard, which sees Adelaide leading by 13 points. 2 late goals there. Van Berlo has a couple, but also have a look how many touches the skipper has, 14. Amazing performance. Adelaide leading by 13 points at the first break. Jars, it's been a shootout. Good old-fashioned shootout in the dry day.
Great to see, and the crowd will be enjoying it. It's like great for entertainment, great carnival atmosphere, and Nathan Van Berlo's been terrific, hasn't he?
Well, let's have a look at some of his goals, but he kicked 2 and possibly could have had 4. He missed, put one horribly out of bounds on the full and also a snap, but 14 touches. He's just chasing Scotty Thompson's record.
Playing a terrific captain's game, Bruce, and looks comfortable in the midfield. Mark Bickley's taken the chains off his neck, and he's really showing some real leadership around the stoppages, his voice, his communication skills, and also running forward and kicking some important goals. It's
a free-flowing game. Has defence just gone out the window?
Absolutely. Well, it's the second to last game of the year. Coaches don't worry about the defensive book. They throw that away and get these boys to play attacking, entertaining footy, which we've seen.
Damien Hardwick justified in being pretty angry because he was kicking into a breeze.
Yeah, look, he would have been filthy, and that obviously would have been around the stoppages. Brendan Lade's the midfield coach there, and guys like Dustin Martin and Foley and these guys, they just got to get their hands on the ball.
All right, Jars, I know you're still on the Crows. Let's go back to the second quarter. It's the Crows leading by 13 points.
Second term underway. Jacobs.
He's on fire in the ruck, Jacobs.
Van Berlo gets it down to Thompson. He was on fire until that kick on the outside of the boot. Close to the boundary. Jackson will be content to take this out. Jacobs coming off the best game of his career last week, Sam Jacobs. 47 hit-outs against the Gold Coast.
Well, Angus Graham needs to get more aggressive. Have a look at the stoppage here. Jacobs initiating front position. And just the bodies. That was better from Graham. He initiated some contact.
Third man up to help Delidio. Jackson. Riley. There's 2 Rileys and an O'Reilly out there today. You're a little confused at times. Armstrong to the outer side. Rutten. Otten.
Wait there, Robbie. Wait there. Play on, play on.
Took the step. Martell's in to go. Sloan.
They're working this well, actually, at the Crows. A good zone in place from Richmond, but good use by foot.
Okay. Took some treatment. Talia the target, cut off by Cotchin. Didn't go to ground. He kept his feet, got the handball to Graham. Delidio. Sidestepped a couple. Post. Grant's
pressure.
Trouble. Didn't really need to give that handball. Thompson got it from Tippett. And that's the Gunston.
You've got a kick in that instant with the errant handball. The kick had him win another 20 metres to someone down the outside. All of a sudden, you maintain possession, but just a hurried handball over the top of someone means the ball's got elevation and it gives a forward press a chance to intercept, which it did on that occasion.
For a 19-point margin. First time today the margin has been beyond 3.
You can play this ball.
He's got it all, Jack Gunston.
Absolutely.
Right now, Toyotathon is giving everyone discounts usually aimed at big business. That means you'll get gold fleet discounts on a wide range of Australia's favourite cars, but only until September 30.
Look
all-new Spring Sensation Sale on now. There's a massive range of dining at 10% off, bedroom at 20% off, lounge at 30% off, carpet and rugs 50% off. You won't want to miss this one. Plus, hurry, our gorgeous spring catalogue is out now. Look on you.
There's Gunston, who had a history-making day here a year ago, played in a premiership for Central Districts. There was a big breeze blowing. They played him down the same end of the ground all 4 quarters. He was their gun player.
You know, you're going well if they play at the same end and with a big breeze, as long as it's where the ball is, not the other end.
Exactly. Big leap, no mark. Hits the deck, Martin traps it in. Tackled hard by Van Berlo. Ball up.
Fantastic leap.
It's the other Riley, Aiden Riley.
Good elevation.
Nice feature on him today. Although the headline was Meet Pig Dog was the headline for the feature article. So good leap from Pig Dog there. Nahas caught.
Good pressure from the Crows.
Otten, kick smothered. Graham. Jacobs. Even when Graham gets the ball, he's giving it to his opposite man.
He's nearly 52.
Thompson. Dangerfield. He's almost within range. He keeps it low. Just the wrong side.
Just missed, but he's got good pace, and once he attacks that 50-metre arc, he's going to give it a shake.
Hooley. Farmer. 20-point margin. Biggest lead of the game for either side if you've joined us late. If you have joined us late, Brodie Martin a late in for the Adelaide Crows with Michael Doughty out. There's a late exclusion. Armstrong. Van Berlo, handball smothered. Cochin cut it off, gave to Delidio. Tried to run through Otten to Jackson. Thompson with him, Jackson up. Just in time, Cochin to half forward. Ball unkindly eludes McKernan.
He did well though to come off his man, McKernan.
He did left Tyrone Vickery in the goal square, and so he was a bit lucky the ball went over the line after bouncing over his head. But you need to do that. Team defence mentality.
Jacobs front spot straight down Vince's throat. Right, hands it out, Sloan. Short, Gunston again. Get up, you two. The umpire barking instructions at players who are grabbing each other off the ball.
Yeah, that was Sloan and Cochin went to ground.
Talia got up from Armstrong. Heads wide, hoping for Rutten. Good contest, Edwards, and gets his own ball. Tigers a chance here. He needs to hit Vickery, who marks on 50. He's got a couple of short options. Nahas is one of them.
Miller.
And he goes to Edwards, the shortest of all. Could have been Miller's ball.
Well, it was Miller's ball, but Edwards will take it. It was good play in the end. I thought if he goes back, he better kick the goal because there was actually 3 Richmond players on their own there. Edwards, Miller.
Nahas and Rewalt was on the lead.
Speaking of Central District's players, Shane Edwards' father, a 100-goal goal kicker in a season for Central Districts back in the day. Four goals, 9 for Shane Edwards this year, though. His goal kicking hasn't been as good as his dad's.
So we've got to make the most of your opportunities, especially playing interstate. Here's Jack Rewalt. Justin Levitt talked at quarter time they need to get Rewalt into the game, but they won't like that. If you're in form, okay, drop the ball, but should come at least in front, not through your hands.
He had the sort of clam going, didn't have the hands behind the ball. So it's always low percentage when the hands are coming from side on.
Talia long post with the jump. And from behind, or was the man in front?
Well, we know he can mark the ball. He just needs to work on his disposal.
He's got to get rid of it well.
Well done.
Nice.
That's better.
Hooley can take off. Spears that. And King, a strange go-to man, but whatever works.
Great passage of play. You know, the ball's on one side of the ground. A quick kick into the middle of the ground. Kick the ball to space, leading target.
Important as well, because King on the lead, he makes John Cock accountable, so you've got to use him because John Cock's a really good rebounding defender, likes to zone off as well. So if you can use his man, you need to do it, but importantly, he has to convert this opportunity to punish John Cock, or at least make him accountable so he doesn't get that run.
Had a shot in the opening term and missed. Gave it a good run though. doesn't really give this a run at all.
Well, 2 missed opportunities at the start of this quarter.
And as big Frank Lepich said at quarter time, they'd been efficient when they'd gone inside their 50. They were able to score, and now they're up to 5 goals, 4. So they've just slipped with these opportunities with the Brews.
Turnover, King gets another chance. His 3rd shot at goal. And he's hit the post.
Not good enough. Nahas was on his own, and he had a look. Right? I don't mind if you kick the goal, but if you kick the point, I know it hit the inside of the post, Wayne, but Nahas, rightly so, put his hand up and said, what about me?
Yeah, absolutely. He just wanted to make up for that last missed opportunity.
Poor kick out of play.
That's a shocker. But when we talk about poor kicks, at least it's out on the boundary
Let's
line
have a
here,
look.
Spud.
There's Rewalt on the hands, and then you've got Nahas there. Now, that is not good enough. He had 2 options, hands or a foot pass.
Free kick off the ball here.
And that's why you can see the frustration of Jake King.
He's going to Sloan against Martin.
Getting back to Jake King, you can tell the missed shot at goal was still playing on his mind.
Yep,
you think he owes his teammates a goal, but he didn't think team. And there's no doubt Damien Harwick that'll be on the review tape come tomorrow.
Talia jumps into the marking contest. Can't pluck it. John Cock sunk a slipper into Farmer. He thought he might have got a free.
Danny, I don't think he'll be on the review tape on Monday. I think it might be at half-time in the mood that Damien Hardwick's in, so I'm anxious to see what happens.
It's a little high, that one.
Little knee on the top of the head.
And Burlow to Vince. Thompson, John Cock. Tippett on the boundary.
Yeah, it's a shame
in the ruck.
Because Richmond are actually I know they're controlling the play at the moment, but they just haven't converted their opportunities. And if Adelaide kick a goal now, it would be really deflating.
McKay, it could have been ball. He was tackled and he didn't dispose of it legally.
I don't think the ball hit McKay's boot, surely.
Nah.
Not enough Richmond fans to call for a holding the ball decision here.
Yeah, it's a good tackle.
Had prior opportunity.
Well,
absolute air
fresh air.
So how is that not paid?
Well, he must have thought a bit of leather hit the boot and it didn't, Wayne. It's as simple as that.
Umpires used to say he made an attempt to play on, but I don't think that's a rule, though, is it, Dwayne?
They've had a couple of lucky ones, Adelaide, in this game. There's been a little press about hometown decisions in papers around Australia in the last couple of weeks. Rance bangs this back, boundary line. Not deliberate. Get a ball in.
A good result in the end, too. Would have been a 2-on-1 contest against Richmond, so best result over the line. Get the opportunity to get plenty of players around for this stoppage.
Vickery, Tippett. Edwards. Over it, play on, even though he didn't have it. Is the reason Edwards didn't get the free, according to the umpire. Edwards gets a kick away. Eight goals to 5.
19 disposals now to Van Burlow. He's having Scotty Thompson-like stats at the minute.
Might be raising the bat late in the 4th quarter as well.
And they need to tighten up.
Tippett dragged down Vickery after falling himself. Umpire told them to get on with it again. McKay straight through Aidan Riley's hands. Hooley, Foley, King. And he goes for goal again. It's all about the bounce. It's way wide. And that'll do for Richmond.
It's going to be all about the reward for effort. And this is what's going to be energy sapping for the Tigers if, as Spud just touched on before, if the Crows can transition this from one end of the ground to the other and score a goal, it is going to be very, very energy sapping against the Tigers.
Well, Tippett took that out of the air. Got to be a free.
No, beautiful.
They get one finally.
Well, that's a brain fade. It's as simple as that. You must know the rules, especially in that area of the ground. You can wear it at the other end if you're forward, but when you make a mistake such as this, the ruckman's got a shot at goal.
Now, the ruckman has to convert this opportunity. They've peppered the goals in the first half of this second term. Here's Kurt Tippett with a throw-in, and you forfeit any prior opportunity. And I think he felt that he got a little hand to it, but umpire was a little quicker with the whistle.
Played 12 minutes in this term as Daniel Jackson comes off with the blood rule, and not foreign to him, coming off under the blood rule. And this for Richmond's first goal of the term, and he sprays it.
There's 4 behinds now for the Tigers.
Yeah.
That's deflating.
And Adelaide are under pressure. They've had more disposals in this quarter, 44-28, but they just can't get it out of their back half at the moment. So some really good work from Richmond to hold it in, but just can't punish the Crows on the scoreboard.
Well, they've been in 4 times for 4 behind, so it could have quite easily been 4 goals.
McKernan stripped of it.
Which puts the game in a completely different context.
Oh, absolutely. And you say it's been in 4 times. When it's gone in, it's actually stayed in there for an eternity as well. They just time in forward 50, a massive advantage in favour of the Tigers at the moment.
Absolutely. Bomb long towards half forward from Vince. Mark taken by Rance. Wants to change sides. Thursfield.
Is the good spread now. They've really set this up well.
Hurley. He's got Tuck in the middle. Still got Tuck as an outlet short if he wants it.
Well, probably the problem was Hurley didn't have a lot of support. Players up the field that had run really hard from one end of the ground to the other.
Straight through McKernan initially. Riley. Armstrong. Sloan. And now they've got the runner overlap.
They've got numbers for it, they can work it through.
Talia, Thompson, Dangerfield. Who does he want to go to? Alton. Thought about going for goal and just pokes it to right.
That was magnificent passage of play with hands.
You can almost guarantee that Adelaide Crows will kick a goal here.
Douglas has been free since he marked the ball.
Because they ran harder forward than the Richmond players did back, and they ran into space. And this, you see this so often in AFL football, in sport. One team has a lot of the possession, a lot of the opportunity, but then quick transition to the other end, and this will hurt the Tigers.
Well, it's going to be a tough year for Richard Douglas, coming off the best and fairest year last year. Adelaide Crows in general. It's had a tough year, but they can finish it well. He can finish this for a 22-point lead. He misses. Both teams been out of the finals race for a while. Both teams do have an opportunity to have their season finish with a better win-loss ratio than last year's season.
Richmond not since, I think it was 2001 in the finals.
Yeah.
They had a good coach back in those days.
That's when I was black-haired, Dwayne.
Edwards picks it up. Gets
Turned
the
grey
rebound.
after that.
And Nahas, 60 from goal. Hasn't got a lot to go to. Has to hold it up.
The back Graham one-on-one.
Okay, he's in a one-on-one. Talia, young player with him, and he brilliantly marks it.
Great kick.
Well done in the end. He sort of was hesitant to go early, but Talia on Graham, probably a bigger body, and one-on-one, that's all, the only thing that a forward wants. Just get it in quick, give me a chance to go one-on-one, and it was a good kick because the advantage of Graham, and he just used his body well and dropped into a nice chest mark.
And this becomes a massive kick, and he's taking some time to make sure he gets it right. And for the record, you're right, Lynchy, 10 seasons now in a row without a finals appearance. Richmond, just 2 finals appearances in the past 28 years. Hopefully they're on the way back. The Tiger fans have stuck with them through thick and thin. There's been a lot of thin.
Whoa.
That was a wobbler. That was a Stephen Kernahan helicopter special.
It's in the book.
Hey, Trev, can you give me a lift?
Well, what's wrong with your car?
Nothing. But my new insurance policy is based around when I drive most. So I'm not covered on weekends or weekdays after 7 p.m, never on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Yes!
Where to?
I told my nephew I'd take him to the zoo.
Well, I'm headed to the city anyway.
No, the zoo at Monarto, Trev.
Monarto?
Oh, come on.
Out.
It's not that far.
Out.
I made a compilation tape.
That's the word of the coach.
Yeah, no, very nicely done. He held off his direct opponent.
Nick Stevens there, the runner.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Bit of experience there on the bench.
Port Adelaide player.
But good work from Graham, just to not hold, but hold off. So, nice work.
A few ex-Port Adelaide players. Damien Harburg, ex-Port Adelaide, and Brendan Lade, ex-Port Adelaide, also part of the Richmond coaching staff. Talia handballs back to Dangerfield. Jacobs. And these two coaches played against each other in many a showdown, Mark Bickley and Damien Hardwick. Their first meeting as coaches today. Armstrong did have strong arms there. Vince come back inside. Just called to go. Rutten. Otten. Little 1-2. Riley. Otten. Maybe a turnover. O'Reilly gets the kick. The Irishman into the middle though. Talia gathers and goes. Petrenko backtracks, gets past Miller. Outer side, the other Riley. He can get and go. He's got long options. He heads to the pocket. Gunston's the one he wants. Takes the mark on 50.
He did. He was just given far too much space by his direct opponent on that occasion.
Push back toward the gutter. 11 points the margin. 18 minutes gone, second term. He's already kicked a couple. Gives it a run. It's long. And Tuck thumps it through for a behind.
It was the toughest kick on the ground. That was straight into the bruise.
Made a good fist of it, and in the end, a good spoil.
Next time they have a kick from that area, it's going to go 20 metres out directly in front. It's nearly impossible from that angle. The way the bruise is, it was straight into the bruise.
As a defender, you're happy to have a long, high ball on the goal line.
Delidio to himself. Kernan, Post. Post read that well, but couldn't bring the mark down. Just floated over the pack a little. And now it's tied up for a ball up. Both these teams having poor starts to the season. Richmond failing to win any of their first 4 games, and Adelaide just 1 win in their first 4. But both finishing strongly here. Dangerfield inside 50, cut off by Rance.
Yeah, good mark by Rance. Just dropped off. Kurt Tippett had pushed up at the ball carrier.
Morton. Richmond finish next week with North Melbourne. They could even finish the season with 4 wins in a row. Head into summer full of confidence. The Adelaide Crows. West Coast next week at Patterson Stadium, their final game of the year. Miller hasn't seen a lot of it yet. Knocks this down. Douglas buffered off it. Foley to Tuck. Martin got a couple to beat. Fists it down. Sloan inside defensive 50. Hands it up. Tackle late on Riley to Sloan to Rutten. They've worked it well. To the outer side, Petrenko's got some space. It bounced kindly for him. Hands it up to Thompson. Which one-on-one does he want? He turns it over. Post. He wanted Gunston, but he missed him completely.
Had to go shorter. Tippett was 50 metres by himself in the forward 50. They had to go one short, then long to Tippett.
Yeah, Aidan Riley was the option, Alistair.
Farmer again. Jake King in a one-on-one. Knocked away from him. Riley down the middle wants either Jacobs or the other Riley, and Aidan Riley.
Numbers everywhere again. Can't slaughter this one, surely.
So Vince to Walker. Hacks it to Tippett in the goal square. Delidio gets back. Tippett can't mark it. Gunston from front and square.
Great goal.
What's for dinner, honey?
Monday's meatloaf.
Okay.
Dave, that is not a ride you have to go on twice, my friend.
Get KFC's Streetwise dinner, now in hot and spicy. 10 pieces of chicken and 2 large chips for only $19.95. But hurry, it won't last long. So good.
Right now, Toyotathon is giving everyone discounts usually aimed at big business. That means you'll get gold fleet discounts on a wide range of Australia's favourite cars, but only until September 30.
That's where Richmond once again were punished with turnovers across their half-forward line, and the Crows were just running very hard. As Richmond run to support their ball carrier, the turnover is costly because the trailing Crows defenders, forwards, have got a mile of space.
Free kick's been found.
Against Daniel Jackson.
Okay, so Jackson hits Sloan high. Sloan plays on. 22 minutes gone to Douglas. Back inside. 4 minutes to half-time. A big 4 minutes at that. Thompson held off it nicely. Nahas collects on the go. King. No arm slap free. John Cock does well.
That's well done.
Thompson. Otten. Sidestep clever. And the fist out of play was good. Delidio read that well.
Yeah, well done from Delidio. Great pickup from Nahas, just in the right claw. But Delidio spoiled. Just good closing speed to get a fist in front of, I can't think who it was there, Bernie Vince.
Tippett almost held by Graham. Short throw in. Tuck. Morton, an initial fumble. Vickery can't get there. McKernan likewise had a go but couldn't. Armstrong's wide. And it stays in. And Vince takes off. All the Tigers stopped over the head of Walker. They get out of a jam. Post. Rance. Thursfield. Delidio. Bang! Oh, he shrugged that tackle easily. Petrenko had him dead. Rewald stands under it. Can't run. Tippett takes the mark.
We'll get to Glenn Jakovich on Jack Rewald shortly.
Right. Gives the handball up. Thompson. Vince. And that's on the full.
Well, head down to Glenn Jakovich. His body language hasn't been great,
Yeah, I've just noticed in this quarter, a couple of inside 50s, just a lame attack, just one-trick pony, gone to the contest, but no ground pressure. And with him and Miller both not a lot of impact in this quarter or in this game, they certainly got to lift their work rate if Richmond are going to start kicking some goals.
Yeah, that's the kind of ball he had to attack there.
Well, it's very well picked up from Jacko because the start of this quarter he missed an easy mark and he didn't even go the last opportunity.
Tippett had it tipped. Cotchin. So now it opens up. King again is the go-to man. Grigg puts it out in front. King gallops. Gets there. John Cock. Half grabs him. King drags it down. Wants to keep it alive. Does. Foley. Sidestep. Dropped it. Gets the kick away. And it bounces the wrong side.
Well, again, I know that Nathan Foley's under extreme pressure, but he had Vickery on top of the square. Yeah. Great pressure here from John Cock. It's been a great duel. You just see Foley there. I know the degree of difficulty, but he didn't have Vickery in the left of screen.
Rutten. Vince. Tippett's working hard. Ball was unkind to him. Still a chance to make something of it. Vince lends a hand. Couldn't shuffle it up to him. Tuck knocks it out. Martin slung. He didn't really have that. It was on the end of his finger.
Quiet, Martin.
Umpire obviously calls that possession. Rutten inboard.
First disposal for the quarter, Dwayne. Martin.
Armstrong to Otten. So some of their big guns letting them down at the moment.
Sloan's getting involved as well. Plenty of disposals this quarter.
Petrenko, we're down to 1 minute 45. Long. McKay. Well played, Hurley. He backed into him, felt the contact and held his ground.
And Rutten's had the 9 disposals, and he's been sweeping defensively across halfback extremely well with John Cock, who's, once again, not a massive disposal game for John Cock, but he just looks very sure and confident back there.
Knocked down, Petrenko had it and then dropped it. I said no prior opportunity. Throw it in. There is those clearance numbers from the centre.
Domination by the Adelaide Crows. That's Van Berlo, Vince Thompson are the keys.
Flicked back by Jacobs. None of his Adelaide Crow teammates were aware it was happening. Hurley got it from Martin, gives it to Grigg. Wide, Sloan off some hands. Good attack, Tuck. He's playing for his footy life as well. And Hurley takes off. Chance for a late score here for the Tigers. Another bounce. High. Vickery feeds back. Almost had it. John Cock the crumb. Now a chance for a late Adelaide score. We're down to a minute. Adelaide have the runners at half back. Riley heads wide. Gunston again. Sets it up by hand. Vince. Shortish. Walker the target. Rance. Mentioned earlier, he's won back a few admirers from the Richmond faithful. Well, his performances this year.
Played well on Taylor Walker. He's only had the 4 disposals, Walker.
It was good work from Rance on that occasion. Poor play by Taylor Walker, actually. He had the back position, and the ball was only 45 metres away. He had to go towards goals.
Rewald crashes that pack. Rutten the crumb. Talia gang tackled. Dispossessed. Down to 20 seconds. Martin shuffles that out. Delidio to half forward. Foley caught out of position. John Cock, he knows where the boundary is. Foley falls but knocks it up. Nahas. Seconds continue to run. To Tuck. Open goals. He looks up. Gives them a sider and then misses.
Well, there's his career, Dwayne. He wins the ball. He's brave. Just his finishing skills.
And that was a lack of composure there. He didn't understand how much time he actually had. He had time to straighten up a bit more and run 3 or 4 metres towards goal.
Half-time siren, Amy Stadium. Round 23 encounter, both the Adelaide Crows and Richmond trying to finish this season strong. Adelaide under new coach Mark Bickley have won 3 of their last 4. and they have a 16-point advantage at the long change. 9-6-60, plays 6-8, 44.
Good afternoon. Police have confirmed bones found last weekend on Queensland's Sunshine Coast are those of missing teenager Daniel Morecambe. They say DNA tests carried out at Adelaide's Forensic Science Centre had led to the positive identification. In the US, Hurricane Irene is bearing down on New York after causing widespread destruction in North and South Carolina. More than 2 million people have had to be evacuated from low-lying areas.
Next Sunday, 7:30.
Well, this coach isn't going to rob itself.
It begins.
Righto, people. You know how it goes.
Let your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
Get ready for Seven's brand new series. Wild Boys begins next Sunday, 7:30.
Right now, your Holden dealer is making it easy to spot a great deal on a Holden Commodore. If it's got a red plate on it, it's a great deal. There's the Commodore SV6, now from just $36,990 drive away. The Bellina International with an amazing $9,500 of extra value. Plus, you can get a bonus sunroof on Commodore SS, SSV, Calais and Calais V sedans. In fact, you'll find incredible red plate deals across a range of new cars, but only while stocks last. Holden, go better.
Times change, and so do your driving needs. With our great rate, you can get the car that's right for you today. To find out more, talk to us at Community CPS.
Look, all new Spring Sensation Sale on now. There's a massive range of dining at 10% off. Bedroom at 20% off. Lounge at 30% off. Carpet and rugs 50% off. You won't want to miss this one. Plus, hurry, our gorgeous spring catalogue is out now. Look, all new.
Shannon's is giving you the chance to win a 21-day fully escorted tour for 2 people on the legendary Route 66 in a Ford Mustang or on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. To enter, get a quote on your car, bike or home insurance. Call Shannon's on 13 46 46 or go online at shannons.com.au.
This isn't a jewellery store. This isn't a garage sale. This isn't a games shop. This isn't a hardware store. And this isn't a bank. Because it's all of them, if you convert your thinking. It's Cash Converters. Visit us in-store or online.
At Vista, you'll always get our lowest price guaranteed. Blinds and curtains, our lowest price guaranteed. Blinds, curtains, shutters and awnings, our lowest price guaranteed. Call Vista now on 13 16 13 for a free measure and quote. You'll love it, guaranteed.
At Hungry Jack's, we think everybody should be able to start off their day with a freshly cooked breakfast. And on rainy days, you should be able to jump back in bed next to a model on a yacht. With a fresh brekkie meal for just $4.95, we've obviously done our part.
Give Dad something he's itching for. Instant Scratchies gift packs for Father's Day.
Background one-on-one.
Okay, he's in a one-on-one. Tali, a young player with him, and he brilliantly marks it. Stuck with them through thick and thin. Been a lot of thin. Oh, that was a wobbler. That was a Stephen Kernahan helicopter special. So Vince to Walker. Haxon to Tibbet in the goal square. Delidio gets back. Tibbet can't mark it. Gunston thrown front and square.
Great goal.
Half-time at Amy Stadium. Adelaide have stretched their lead out to 16 points, 9-3-60 to the Tigers, 6-8-44. Gunston has 3. Van Berlo, 22 touches. And Thompson backing up after last week's 51. He's got 21 so far. Jars, the shootout, it's disappeared, hasn't it? There's some defence being brought back into the game.
Yeah, they obviously both coaches put some extra numbers behind the ball, Bruce. Only 3 goals kicked in that second quarter.
Well, amazingly, Richmond 1 goal 6. Now, if Damien Hardwick was going off at quarter time, how would he be going at half time?
He'd be given a bit of a rip, more so to the forward line coach, because these guys had some easy opportunities to kick the goals. And as you know, scoreboard pressure is so important in today's footy, but you know that might hurt him at the end of the day.
All right, talking about Adelaide, as you said, the style of game's changed. Important to see the coaches, first of all, it's a hot day. They couldn't have kept that first quarter pace up for the whole game, but Adelaide just had to change their game style.
Yeah, look, they're just running at all costs, but, you know, the foot skills are very, very important. I thought the Adelaide Crows were looking for their free player through the midfield, playing on instinct, but you can't keep up that type of pressure football.
And you, Taylor Walker, getting amongst it. You like Gunston too? He has 3 goals already.
Yeah, he's a beautiful player, Gunston. He's going to be a ripper. He reminds me of young Fife from Fremantle Footy Club.
Well, interesting, Adelaide, you saw Taylor Walker sitting out there wide, but also kicked the tippet. That one-on-one with a big man, he can bring the ball to ground, can't he?
Oh, yeah, that's it. And if he can't mark it, that's rule number 1. Bring it to the front so the little blokes can crumb it.
As we said, Gunston has 3. Now, interesting face in the crowd at Amy Stadium. Tell us some mail and Scotty Burns.
There he is. He's in the top 4 for the candidate to be the new coach next year. He's here, obviously, lurking in the grandstands. Don't forget the Crows are playing the Eagles next weekend, but I reckon he might be doing a bit of research. So there he is there. He's the midfield coach over there in West Coast Eagles. He's got to make a decision that if he wants to coach the Adelaide Crows, he's got to make it sooner or later.
What about the West Coast? Bottom last year. They're up and about this year.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be that keen to leave, would you?
No, not at the moment. They've got a terrific list now, and when you've got Nat Nui controlling and Cox, and they've got some real upside, the Eagles. And Scotty, I think Scotty might stay in at the West Coast for another 3 years.
All right, what are you seeing today from the Crows? They'd be pretty positive for any new coach, though.
Yeah, look, their list, we're starting to take shape with the list with the midfield group. We've got the forward line functioning beautifully. The back 6 are going very well. So there's some real upside for the potential new coach, which could be a Mick Moldhouse.
So what about yourself? Ever thought about coaching?
No, thanks. I'd rather be with you, Bruce. I'd rather sit here with you, mate.
You look all right in makeup. We'll take a break. Plenty more coming up after the break.
L. Thompson. Thompson's won it. He's won it. On the last vote, 25.
Brownlow medal winner, Mr. Kelvin Templeton. Brian Wilson of the Melbourne Club, the winner of the 1982 Brownlow medal.
Greg Williams.
The winner of the 1988 Brownlow medal is Gerard Healy. Presenting you with the Brownlow medal for 1990.
With the 1978 Brownlow medal.
So we declare Jim Steins from the Melbourne Football Club the winner of the 1991 Brownlow medal.
Vigo, looking strong, Luis.
We have to take care of ourselves.
Just for men, nothing is easier, nothing looks better.
Still got it.
Just for men.
What's for dinner, honey?
Monday's meatloaf.
Okay.
Dave, that is not a ride you have to go on twice, my friend. Get KFC's Streetwise Dinner, now in hot and spicy. 10 pieces of chicken and 2 large chips for only $19.95. But hurry, it won't last long. So good.
When you've got a flat surface to clean, Karcher has the solution. The Karcher Patio Cleaner. It attaches to your Karcher High Pressure Cleaner to give you a faster, more even clean. There's no splashback, no mess, and its power nozzle gets into even the trickiest corners. The Karcher Patio Cleaner. One of a wide range of Karcher attachments available for all your cleaning needs. Reliable, powerful, innovative and German engineered. That's why Karcher makes a difference.
Hey, Trav! Can I borrow some sugar? And a fire extinguisher if you have one.
Crester's having Australia's biggest blind and curtain sale. Prices have never been lower on custom-made blinds and stylish curtains. Visit the Crester website now to see the full range and book your free in-home measurement quote. Or call Crester on 133 096.
If you worry about how much you sweat, you probably avoid getting close to people. Rexona Clinical Protection. Clinically proven to give you twice the protection against sweat of a basic antiperspirant. Dare to get much closer. Rexona. It won't let you down.
Being regular is important to me. It's how I know everything's running like clockwork. I don't want little problems to become big ones. And when it's time to go, I go to UltraTune. They're terrific. They check my car every 6 months from top to bottom. Oh. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go drop the kids off at the pool.
UltraTune. In tune with you and your car.
This isn't a jewellery store. This isn't a garage sale. This isn't a games shop. This isn't a hardware store. And this isn't a bank. Because it's all of them, if you convert your thinking. It's Cash Converters. Visit us in-store or online.
With another baby on the way, we needed a bigger family room and a new nursery. Because Bendigo Bank puts profits back into the community, our loan has also helped to build this nursery for mums of prem babies, like mine.
It starts with you. Shaving is just one of those things your skin faces every day. Now I've discovered Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
A moisturiser that soothes after shaving and strengthens skin.
Now I can shave every day.
Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
Because we're worth it.
But it's all over, and Collingwood win the 8th grand final.
It doesn't get better than that.
Come and get it.
Jars, Collingwood, they're up and about. The Army's up and about. Can anything stop them, particularly with the succession plan that seems to have gone off the rails this week?
Well, on field, no. They are the complete package, Collingwood. They're brutal, they're hard, they're fit, they're fast, they're skillful, and they've got depth.
What about off the field, Jars?
Off field, well, that's a complete shambles at the moment. It's going to end in tears, Bruce, to be quite honest with you. How can a coach go back-to-back and then in 2012 have no position as a senior coach?
He still wants to coach. He's only a couple of seasons away from Jock McHale's all-time record for games coached.
Well, obviously that's a selfish as a senior coach if he wants to try and achieve that record. But at the end of the day, Mick Malthouse now needs to find a new home.
But he can coach. There's clubs looking for a coach.
Absolutely, but he has a contract with Collingwood for 3 years.
So what can you see happening?
I can see that be ripped up and him staying out of football for 12 months.
All right, plenty of pressure on coaches because last night there was a pretty important game between the Roos and St Kilda because a spot in the finals, pretty much the final 8 is set and done and dusted. The Roos are pretty close, but this is the pressure that goes on, Jars.
Yeah, look, frustrating. A lot of it's frustration because the players aren't adhering to game plans. They're getting annoyed with their coaches. Look at that. That's just aggression. I'd hate to be on the end of one of those bakes by a Scott brother.
Well, Jars, North Melbourne, they've got the backs against the wall always. They were a game away from making the finals and it fell over last night.
They're still another 12 months away from beating the top sides, I believe, and they're on the right track. Scott's got them playing some good footy, but St Kilda, they'll have a few clubs nervous now in the 8.
Good to see the passion, though, because you need the passion for footy.
Absolutely.
Now, talking about passion, the big Fev. Is he back?
I reckon he's back, Brucey. He's dropped 16 kilos since March. He's a teetotaler. He's got a job, and he's playing some super football. He kicked 10 on the weekend. I think the Bulldogs should pick him up and give him a pre-season at least.
Well, he's kicked 43 goals in the last 6 games. Clearly, there's no doubt about his ability on the field. It's off the field. Is there still question marks? You say he's got a job, teetotaler. There's a lot of things changed in his life, but is someone prepared to give him a chance?
I don't think so. I'd like to see someone give him a chance, but I think he's missed the bus.
Do you think that's unfair? Ben Cousins got another chance?
Ben Cousins off-field and on-field, he ticked all the boxes. He was a complete professional footballer, where Fev, as we know, has made a lot of mistakes off-field.
All right, but there's teams out there looking for a forward. You don't find gun forwards growing on trees.
Yeah.
He's a gun forward. He can kick goals. We know that.
Yeah.
Will someone take a risk?
What about Port Adelaide? Would they take a risk?
I wouldn't take a risk because the young group... But if you're Collingwood, a senior group, could they keep him under control?
I think they could. A Carlton would. An Essendon would. Because, you know, a Fev could kick 60 goals, that could get you into a grand final.
And he gets people through the gate, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's about entertainment.
All right, let's go. We're going to take a break. It's Adelaide leading at half-time by 16 points. After the break, the third quarter from Amy Stadium.
Might look like a walk in the park, but footy isn't always easy riding. Players suffer from heat stroke, drownings by Powerade, and you never know when you'll cop a falcon.
The reverse falcon there.
By Sharon or by foot. Malthouse and Buckley didn't see eye to eye, but it didn't stop Eddie working on his next deal. Is it possible he needs credit to pay the tooth, to fill all the gaps at Collingwood? And with about as much stealth as the tooth fairy, an old spy came in from the cold.
Happy tourist there, Kevin Shetty. I presume taking his own photo.
on their backs and in the air.
Huge grab!
Footy's acrobats scored high marks.
That was magnificent.
The impossible angle is all too possible these days. So, to up the ante, Goodsy went the banana from straight in front.
No way!
Anyone can jag one impossible goal, but there's no fluking two in 2 minutes.
Can he kick 2 in a row like that? Oh, that is just superb footy from Kurt Tippett.
Then there's John Butcher's 6 goals from 6 possessions.
We like him a lot.
But it's hard to beat Jason Tutt's 3 goals from his first 3 kicks in footy.
He's batting better than Bradman, 100%.
It's a physical sign of ageing.
Oh, you look tired.
But forget radical cosmetic surgery. Thermal imaging reveals there's a simple solution to a complex problem.
How just breathing can keep the bags at bay.
Melody Horrell's special medical report, half-time of the footy on 7 News.
Give Dad something he's itching for. Instant Scratchies gift packs for Father's Day.
It's big. It's bigger than big. Harvey Normus 4-day sale. PlayStation 160 gig console price smash at $299. Fisher & Paykel dryer only $199. What a deal! That's Harvey Normus. Up to 40% off selected lounge, dining and outdoor furniture. Up to 40% off selected mattresses, ensembles, bedroom furniture and Manchester. 4 days only with a big 48 months interest-free store-wide. No deposit, no interest till 2015. It's Harvey Normus. Ends Monday. Hurry!
What a difference 2 letters can make. GE's cutting-edge high-definition CT scanner gives doctors a healthy chance of detecting heart disease early. That's healthy imagination from GE.
Being regular is important to me. It's how I know everything's running like clockwork. I don't want little problems to become big ones, and when it's time to go, I go to Ultratune. They're terrific. They check my car every 6 months from top to bottom. Oh. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go drop the kids off at the pool.
Ultratune. In tune with you and your car.
Life is full of amazing moments, and at Ted's Cameras, we'll help you capture them all with the perfect camera and lenses for you. Like this Sigma 10 to 20mm ultra-wide zoom lens, perfect for capturing large wedding parties or groups for just $649. Or this Sigma 150 to 500mm super telephoto lens that lets you get super close to wildlife for just $1,099. Plus at Ted's Photo Lounge, we'll help you bring your shots to life in dozens of creative ways. Ted's Cameras, helping you capture life.
When you've got a flat surface to clean, Karcher has the solution. The Karcher Patio Cleaner. It attaches to your Karcher high pressure cleaner to give you a faster, more even clean. There's no splashback, no mess, and its power nozzle gets into even the trickiest corners. The Karcher Patio Cleaner. One of a wide range of Karcher attachments available for all your cleaning needs. Reliable, powerful, innovative and German engineered. That's why Karcher makes a difference.
Her content's premium with one of our competitors. And with us. Why? Because her car is insured with UE, she gets 20% off her contents insurance. It's saved a lot. Call 13UE or go to UE.com.au.
Following the Crows' Richmond clash, can Port butcher Essendon's final surge with 7 News at half-time, live from 4 o'clock on 7.
Brodie Martin on the bench having a chat to Matthew Wright. You just see whether Damien Hardwick puts Rewald actually deep and just says, well, I'm the coach, but for us to win the game, do I actually need to put Rewald a lot closer to goal and maybe put Miller and Vickery up the ground?
Well, he's starting at the top of the goal square now, is Rewald. So important first 5 minutes for Jack Rewalt and the Tigers to get off to a good start. I think they'll look at Webley, injecting him into the game in the next 10 minutes as well, and it might be one of the big forwards that's the sacrificial lamb.
Adelaide by 16 with a slight breeze in this third term. Van Berlo coming off a 22 possession opening half. Gets a possession on cue here, although there's a push in the back free. Simultaneous kick. It'll be coming back.
Good decision.
So Vince's ball after Van Berlo got the clearance.
Kurt Tippett didn't think it was a good decision, so now he'd taken the mark inside 50.
Jacobs. Thompson. Good job,
Thompson.
And plays on immediately. Bree starts to push that toward the goal mouth, but nowhere near enough.
Top of his game, Thompson, isn't he? That's just great confidence. Knowing you take the easy contested mark, but then more important, just play on. That is a player at the top of his game.
He's a big man, big, strong man for a midfielder, and can take those contested marks as well as cover an enormous amount of territory. Up to 22 disposals now.
Thursfield wide, Hooley. It's a free-flowing game early in the opening term. It's a little stagnant to start here this third term as Delidio marks.
Yeah, Hooley's had the 10 disposals, but he's one of those players that really needs to get into the game a bit more. He sets up so well with Delidio off half-back and gives them inside 50 options as well. So he's won after his game against the Sydney Swans a couple of weeks ago. He needs to get back to that form today.
Dustin Martin with a possession, coming off just a 9-possession opening half. Van Berlo to Vince again. Half forward. Fly, no mark. Gunston, off hands Rance. Delidio tucked into the boundary. Keeps it alive. And nice attack, Vickery. Takes off. Hands to Jackson. They need a fire start of the Tigers. Hooley sends it long. Revolt hardly seen it, and Rutten beats him here. Knocks it away, but to Foley. Hands it back. Miller has the shot from the pocket. Tapped through by John Cock.
Well, let's take nothing away from Rutten either. He's played on Rewalt the last 2 occasions. He's only kicked the 4 goals. It's just the body strength. See the body spoil there from Rutten. He disguised it beautifully. A player with less experience would have given away a free kick there.
Armstrong and Edwards do some dancing. Petrenko does some marking on Martin. Tough guy to beat in the air.
But Denny's Rewalt playing into Rutten's hands by engaging body work. He just took his eye off the line of the ball. He should have just kept going at the ball.
Absolutely, Jacko, and he started behind as well, so he was almost a kick and a half away, so he wants it over the back.
Vince runs inside 50 from 48. Oh, he punched the air as soon as it left his boot.
The best burgers need real ingredients like caramelised onion, fine cheddar and fresh free-range chicken. And a chef's recipe doesn't hurt. Introducing Darren Simpson's signature burger range. KFC all chefed up is so good.
Shaving is just one of those things your skin faces every day. Now I've discovered Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
A moisturiser that soothes after shaving and strengthens skin.
Now I can shave every day.
Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
Because we're worth it.
Biggest lead of the game, 22 points. There's a bit on this for Adelaide as well. If they don't win today, they could still have their worst ever ladder finish in club history, which is 13th under Malcolm Blight, and they're 14th right now coming into this game.
We just need the Richmond midfield to get into the play because the Adelaide midfielder kicked 5 goals between them. Van Berlo and Vince 2 and Thompson 1.
King got it from Cochin. Here's to the square. Jack Revolt's down there. That's time. Better. And he marked that in the square, so there'll be no angle.
Well, Rutten will be looking exactly the umpires are free. There's no free kick. He'll be disappointed with that Rutten because he had to play goal side. He elected to play in front. And all the dangerous space. I know it was only 2 metres.
And that could be the spark for him and his team.
Up here in the north, it's classic Queenslanders and buckets of humidity. Down south, beautiful homes and bone-chilling cold. In the outback, it's homesteads and scorching heat. That was over 10 years ago. Today, there are over 2 million Fujitsu air conditioners in homes and businesses across Australia. Why? There's a huge range including fully ducted systems. They're top quality, they can heat and cool and are extremely economical to run. Why do more people trust Fujitsu? It's Australia's favourite air.
It's interesting where he marked that ball too. Did he mark it inside the goal square?
Just
by about minus a metre.
I think it's the defender coming at me, Dwayne. I would have been asking the question if I was running.
Absolutely, but as a forward,
next year we might be able to go to the video replay.
Oh,
might be
great.
But good work for Rewalt, because it helps his confidence and it helps the midfield of the Richmond side as well to get the ball in quickly to him.
John Cock told to play on. Defence to Armstrong, to Riley, to Sloan. 16 points the margin. Adelaide kicking with a slight breeze in this third. Douglas.
Richmond getting plenty of numbers back.
Sloan.
This is where the Richmond need to be manic though, Alistair. They zone a couple of areas and then they just drop off. So Adelaide pull the trigger on any free target. This is better from the Tigers. Force them to kick it long.
Tough ball to grab. Tippett with a fist in the end.
Well, that was a better. Let's have a look at this mark from Jack Rewalt. Now, if he marks it inside the square, oh, come on.
Okay.
I knew I was right, Dwayne. Is that old defender coming at me, Dwayne?
I think he just chuckled it on the way back, didn't he?
I would have asked the question. I'll be still asking it, Lynchy.
Yeah, that's right. You wouldn't move on real quick.
Free kick. Van Berle had a shot, but it'll be Wright's ball. Unless sometimes the umpires say you played onto advantage. He played on there and kicked it out on the full. And it comes back to Wright.
Just on his limit, you would think.
So the advantage rule didn't count there, or?
No. There's a softening of the interpretation of that rule, I think, as the season's gone on, because I think they're anticipating it's going to get sacked.
Right, okay. Matthew Wright, that's what he has ahead of him. Not bad off the boot. Across the face.
The Adelaide Crows have been pretty good in this position here. They get the zone in place quickly. They've got a 17-man zone, and Rutten holds back on the other side of the centre circle. So have struggled in this facet of the game.
Chris Newman talked it up pre-game, Dwayne.
That's a kicking plan, is it?
Yep.
It hasn't worked, let me tell you. Vince kicks at goal, and that's across the face. That one certainly wasn't the plan, surely. That was chaos theory.
I think that was the one where just get the ball out of the area as quickly as possible.
Give it to someone else.
Yep.
Hooley plays on. Tuck. Morton. Edwards. Richmond 15th and 15th the last two seasons. They can't finish any lower than 14th this year, so at least they're on the improve, but they can finish as high as 10th as well if they get motoring here and win this one. There's a bit on it for the Tigers as well. Tied up. That's got to be ball or too high.
Dropping the ball. Holding the ball.
Robbie Nahas and Jake King have had no connection at all today as half forwards.
I reckon, what was it in the second term?
Let's have a look. There's Jake King. Nahas giving the hands, no, not today.
Probably reading a little bit much into that, but I'm with you. He was a bit disgruntled after not getting something at the top of the goal square.
I think it was in the second quarter.
That was the one.
Jake King really did burn Nahas.
John Cock to Petrenko. Couldn't get near that. Ball kick to Lidio takes the mark. Both these teams can finish as high as 10th or as low as 14th. So there is a bit on offer to them in terms of momentum heading into the summer.
Absolutely. As a young team, and especially Richmond, you just need to finish off with a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence going into the pre-season.
Rewalt, better.
That's really good work. He's just got rid of his opponent then and ran and then jumped.
Hands it off. Delidio long. Off hands. Nahas. Can't keep it alive, and we'll get a ball in. At least win-loss ratio-wise, Richmond won only 6 games last year in Damien Hardwick's first year. They've won 7.5 so far this year.
Well, the graph's going the right way, Dwayne. That's the main thing.
Jackson outside of the boot to full forward. Miller.
Need to get Miller into the game.
Yeah, he needs to make a mark.
Well,
Miller almost kicks that out on the full.
I think it nearly was.
Well, Miller might be the sub. He might get flicked over Webberley at the moment. He hasn't had a major impact on the game with the 4 disposals and no marks at all. So as a key forward, you just need to be giving more. So they might just mix it up at the moment, getting Webberley into the game.
Jacobs, palm down, nice. Nahas attacks it. And that looked a little out.
Yeah, well,
it was a lot
picked
out.
up the umpire right at the spot.
What was your win-losses in the year you got the flick, Spudley? Can you remember? Or did you just
it wasn't great. It was. I think I don't know. I resigned sort of 9 games to go, and I don't think we won one after that. So,
but nice of you to raise it though, Alistair.
I thought I'd just bring it up. No, it's the last team to take them to the finals.
Yeah, that's true. Coasting the third, long inside 50. Knocked down by McKernan. Sloan luckily was there. It's a dangerous spot to be punching away to. John Cock backtracks. Armstrong, danger. Rutten, they've got the numbers to get away with this. John Cock again with some run. Sloan's on the move. Gets there on the gather. Nice.
Yeah, they've got Douglas forward.
Sloan.
They're lining up. Petrenko's in the middle by himself.
Oh, Riley, a little fumble.
He's still on Petrenko, Lynchy.
So Petrenko takes the mark.
Tippett just on the ground as well.
So Dangerfield now sees Tippett. He's got a longer if he wants it. And he goes the longer to Gunston. Hands it off. Right. Goal square. Over the top. Douglas. How easy was that?
It's back, and it's bigger than ever. Toyotathon. Right now, you can get the Toyotathon Advantage with Gold Fleet discounts across a wide range of Australia's favourite cars. These discounts are usually aimed at big business, making this your golden opportunity to drive away today in a new Toyota and start enjoying a lifetime of advantages. See your local Toyota dealer now, because Toyotathon must end September 30.
Bad effort.
There's no doubting that. You just what player we got there in
Tyrone Vickery, boys, has just come off the field. His right shoulder is holding, so whether it's popped out or not, the doctor's looking at it in a minute.
Well, he's the only forward that looks like Mark here, Jacko, so he could be subbed out if he's in a lot of trouble. But you're right, Alistair, the lack of defensive pressure from the Tigers, they just ball watch too much. They just watch the ball for half a second, and that's half a second too long in today's field.
Big him and shoulder by Petrenko on Thursfield.
How good was that?
Tigers at breaking strain right now. Pivotal point in this game. Right here, right now.
You can sense it, Wayne. And just have a look. You just see the Vickery injury here. Now he's wrestling. Oh, I didn't see a lot.
Not
a lot in it,
but,
which means
obviously a fair bit of concern as it goes back into place. Never comfortable when you just go to shoulder.
Thursfield under this and eventually takes the mark. Yeah, Vickery, sometimes they take an enormous amount of time to get it back in. It seems like an enormous amount.
It is when you're in excruciating pain.
Rance, Farmer. 23 points the margin. Biggest lead of the game. What have the Tigers got in response? Hurley can't gather that. Boundary line is only out, and he can't get it across. Douglas.
Well, if you fumble in today's footy, the pressure triples, and that's what Basher Hurley did on that occasion.
Dangerfield, free kick, and again, though, advantage paid. They played on advantage with a handball, and it's brought back, and he's down, maybe with a shoulder problem as well.
Paddy Dangerfield, but it started from the Basher Hurley fumble. Just a simple fumble. They were going. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah.
So Douglas plays on here with a handball, as we see Dangerfield hurt, but no play on advantage. The umpire essentially deciding there was no advantage there.
Yeah, they'll switch the ball here, Adelaide. They've done it extremely well today.
So Rutten to Armstrong. He has a paddock. Talia. Doing okay. Daniel Talia. It's game number 8. That kick works okay. Tippett. Petrenko. Tippett. Oh, how easy is this to watch right now? Adelaide Crow fans really enjoying the step up in momentum. Petrenko runs into a high one. The crowd getting involved in every passage of play.
I thought he ducked into that one.
They can sense the kill. Short pass, Talia, who's never kicked an AFL goal. So a big moment for him. And he doesn't take it. Vince. Oh, he launches that from outside 50 and he can't quite bring it around.
These are danger times now, as you said, Dwayne. The Richmond body language, that's what I'm disappointed in at the moment. I know they're playing away. They haven't got the crowd to to generate. You need your leaders now to generate some enthusiasm. It's all Adelaide at the moment.
And boys, you mentioned about ball watching in the Adelaide forward 50. I mean, Bernie Vince was there for a fair while when Taylor had that ball, so bad manning up there by Richmond again.
Rewalt jumps into it. Big fist McKernan. Delidio crumbs it to Cochin. Heads out wide to King. Now he can get and go. Open spaces. Martin's running into the space. If it bounces, he will go. It bounced unkindly initially. Gets it, toes it, just, and keeps them in it.
Look on new Spring Sensation Sale. Catalogue out now. And now is the time to buy with 50 months interest-free with absolutely no deposit. 50 months interest-free and no money down. Hurry, look on you.
Hey, Trav. Can I borrow some sugar? And a fire extinguisher if you have one.
18 points, 3 goals the margin. Adelaide with a slight breeze in this third. Tigers will come home with it.
That was a great run by Dustin Martin. He had too much leg speed for Armstrong.
16 minutes gone in this third.
Do you find a yard when you know you're running into an open goal?
Absolutely.
Dangerfield. Van Berlo, Dangerfield, Otten. Possessions all the way back to half-back. And now out of play on the wing.
The key one is when you're running defensively and it's not your man, you probably lose a yard. When it's your man, you go very hard. There's Tyrone Vickery just getting work on that AC joint in the right shoulder.
Well, I'll give him another 5 to 10 minutes, you'd think, and if he doesn't come on shortly, Webley will sub him on.
Edwards a wobbler inside 50. Martin lurking again. Rebound.
Well done.
Hands it over to Martin. Unselfishly, Nahas kicks it into the lake.
Fed up with feeling sluggish? Swiss Ultiboost Liver Detox can help, with traditional herbs to support a healthy liver and used for indigestion and bloating as well. It's great to help the body detox, so I take it before bed if I've had a few drinks. The Swiss Ultiboost range contain premium quality ingredients based on over 25 years of research. That's why I choose Swiss and why you'll feel better on Swiss.
Yeah, important goals, some key contributors getting involved, which is a big thing. Here's the tap. Now, have a look at this Jack Rewalt. That's a throw, isn't it? Did he actually hit that fist?
After looking at that, he needs to work on his left handball.
Geez, absolutely, but good goal.
Well, the Crows did initiate the Crow throw, didn't they?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's one back.
Dangerfield to stop this Richmond run on. Farmer feeds back onto it and it rolls out of play. Richmond's recent form's been good. Wins over Sydney. Didn't they prove that form exceptional yesterday? And Melbourne coming into this.
It was a good win by Richmond over Melbourne last week too. They were challenged in that third term. Really good last quarter under pressure.
There's Jeremy Webley there for Green Vest on, just limbering up on the boundary line.
And in those wins, boys, their third quarters was quite exceptional, and they're winning this one, so that's important for them.
Yes, if you've joined us late, Adelaide led by 13 points at quarter time, by 16 at half time. They now lead by 12. Richmond did hold a 1-goal lead early in the opening term. But it's been all Adelaide with the lead since then. Farmer appeared to be caught high. Crowd thought he dropped into it. Sloan gets the benefit of the doubt.
Again, plenty of time to get this zone in place.
So Rewalt can't jump. McKernan fist. Rewalt.
Yeah, good decision.
Free for a punt.
Yeah. Well, Riley was the one that initiated contact, but the ball wasn't within 5 metres, so great decision from the umpire.
And a good kick from Rewalt to King. They've kicked the last 2, the Tigers. Martin inside 50. Tried the chest mark, thumped away.
Had to extend the arms there, Dwayne.
Riley, look away, handball to Jackson. Centering ball, they've got the numbers. Rance has drifted down and he drops the mark. McKay pumps it out. Cochin now drops one. King bobs up that little mess. Hands back to Cochin. Or throw, call it what you like. But Griggs mark, just in fact to Spiller, just inside 50. Haven't seen Miller all day. This is his moment.
That's the free kick. That's well picked up by the umpire against Brent Riley. I think Rance got excited, Wayne. He hadn't been in that area before.
What was the free kick for against Rewalt?
Brent Riley holding onto the arm.
2 kicks, 2 handballs, no goals so far for Brad Miller. This to cut the margin back to 1 kick from the paint. Hits it sweetly. That's as sweet as it gets. Game on.
Shaving is just one of those things your skin faces every day. Now I've discovered Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
A moisturiser that soothes after shaving and strengthens skin.
Now I can shave every day.
Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
Because we're worth it.
When we needed a loan for the pool we've been dreaming of, we went to Bendigo Bank. As well as a great rate, we like how Bendigo put profits back into the community, which means quite a few others have ended up with a pool of their dreams too.
It starts with you.
And Djakovic,
Yeah, Tyrone Vickery back on, boys, which is a good sign for Richmond now that they've kicked the last 3 goals.
Oh, that is positive because Miller's now had a shot. Rewalt. They're dominating these last 10 minutes, the Tigers. More importantly, they're scoring.
Jacobs knocks it down, but Foley almost the clearance. Hooley, slick, slung, no free kick. Goes back in and gets the clearance, Graham. Rolls it towards King. Initially had it, but fumbled it. McKay, likewise. Back to Jackie King. Got a nudge.
And Trent Cotchin's the other way. 6 disposals to Cotchin.
Big momentum swing.
There he is again, Cotchin.
Short pass was an option. Off hands Miller. Nahas. Run down, but gets a kick away. Won't be 15. O'Reilly caught by John Cock from behind. Obviously a legal possession. Crowd wanted ball. Umpire was right there. 15 players around this ball. John Cock tied up. Ball up. 22 minutes gone, 3rd term. Richmond coming home with the breeze in the last, and they're a goal down.
Thompson been a little bit quieter with Van Berlo in this quarter. Just 3 disposals apiece.
2 ruckmen tie up. Cotchin the clearance. Play on. McKay straight up in the air. This will be play on as well. Grigg stands under it. Good grab. Takes off. Gets away. Hits the hot spot to the square. Rewalt manhandled. Vickery just on. Superb.
Great courage, Vickery. If you're going to test the shoulder in a contested mark situation, this was an unbelievable. And Trent Cotchin, 7 disposals, 4 contested possessions. He's pumping the ball inside forward 50. So this will lift the Richmond Army. They would have known that Vickery was off the ground with a shoulder injury. This is a big kick.
That's a great grab.
Unbelievable.
Just after your shoulder's been put back into the socket.
Some boos. Umpire pulls him around a bit. Didn't call him to play on. The Crows fans believe he took the sidestep. Should have just been play on. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
Well done if he got away with it.
This is a massive kick to level the scores. Post.
Got close to the man on the mark.
Five points the margin. 38,000 here at Amy Stadium, getting their money's worth. Graham almost the mark.
It was a mark.
He controlled it for mine. Edwards gives the handball up. King, no nudge. Taken out by Jacobs.
And should we talk about half-time? There was upside for Richmond, and it's been their midfield and their half-backs, Delidio and Hooley, the run and carry, and they've had 11 disposals between them, but they're going 100%. So they're using the ball extremely well, the 2 half-backs for the Tigers.
Dangerfield to Riley. Torpedo to the middle. Backing back, that's better for Rance.
Yeah, that's a really good mark. Going back with the flight of the ball, and in slightly blustery conditions, a good grab.
Graham makes the ground. Gets one back on Jacobs. He's got Morton. And he hits the hot spot. Rewalt's got a run here. Goes up, can't bring it down. Off hands King. Having a good quarter. Jackson on the left to the square. Vickery again. Punts through. 4 points the margin.
You said, Dwayne, Jake King getting involved at the 6 disposals. He's one of those barometer players for clubs, and he's at 6 this quarter and driving the ball inside 50 on 3 occasions. So really valuable contribution at the moment after being quite early.
Yeah, he of the famous quote, "I'd hate to play on me," Jake King.
It's a big rap.
That's a great quote, though.
No, he's backing himself in.
Yeah.
He's backed his Tigers teammates in at the moment, because he known in the second quarter he had 3 shots at goal but 3 behind. So he's lifted. And that's what you want from a coach. If it doesn't work for you early, you can't do much about the past, but you can make an impact in the future.
Edwards to Hurley, ran into that tackle by Thompson. Douglas gets it up. Sloan grabs it nicely, gives to Armstrong. Tries to get away, turns it up to King. The man of the moment. Short pass. John Cock lays a tackle on Riley. Riley can't get away.
Great tackle from Deledio. He's lifted to the Richmond leader.
Defensive pressures are really picked up, and their reaction time when it transfers from offensive to defensive pressures, they flick on much quicker.
Dangerfield, dangerously. Armstrong, Thompson, just got away. Grigg puts it back and long to the square. And is that a mark? Vickery's grabbed it just over the line.
Because they're winning the ball, the Tigers, and they're using it. We talked at half-time, 54% kicking efficiency. They're now going at 74%. And because they're putting pressure on Adelaide, they've dropped down to 66. So it's amazing when you compete hard, you defend well, you tackle, all of a sudden your ball use improves.
Enjoyable contest right now. 4 minutes left to three-quarter time. John Cox straight down the middle. Walker couldn't bring the mark down. Dangerfield crumbs, caught. Handball misses the target. Martin looks up, got a couple of options. Out wide, Grigg. He bumped as the kick. Heads long and just offline, and it's down to a 2-point lead.
Well, it's amazing. 4 goals, 5 this quarter. 13 inside 50s. Adelaide kicked a couple of goals early. It's been all the Tigers.
Riley entrusted with the kick in this time. John Cock been sacked. McKernan.
And we said during the second term how there was a lot of time spent in the forward 50 for Richmond, but they didn't capitalise on those opportunities. Right. 1 goal 6 in that second term, but they've been able to put this ball through the big sticks in this term.
Good punch, Rance, but down to a murder of Crows. Sloan, Van Berlo, McKay. Not a lot to go too long, realises that. Gunston's the man. Bounce kindly, being shut down by Tuck. Centering kick. Right.
Well done.
Can't take the mark.
What a kick from Gunston, though, too. That was a clever kick.
Riley should have marked that.
No, he should have, Dwayne, but Gunston just plays the opportunity. Have a look. Yeah, he kept his eyes on the ball. Well done. He just unfortunately tried to take it too safe a mark.
Just game 5 for Aidan Riley, and maybe it showed right there.
I think he felt the pressure of his teammate Douglas coming in as well.
Sloan calls for a free, doesn't get it. Tippett grabbed. Van Berlo bumped by Deledio. Gets it up to Tuck. The Foley. They're inspired right now, the Tigers. Vince with the punch. Cochin, front spot. Held his position. Gives to Jackson. Vickery the target. He's got 2 to beat Ty. Knocks it down nicely, though. Nahas couldn't trap it. Rutten does. Game's lifted a cog or 2. Stolen back by Revolt. She's got options aplenty. Griggs over the top. He can give them the lead. Adelaide by 2 points. Hands to Jake King. Tigers in front.
You have a ride-on mower.
Yeah.
But you have an artificial lawn. Where's the Gemini?
2 words, Trev. Britannia Roundabout. The Gemini was totaled, and my insurance company only gave me enough money to buy this.
You can't take that on the road.
I'm not stupid, Trev. But if you ever need your lawn mowed...
Oh, no.
It's easy to drive. It's like one of those golf buggies. Trev, how do I stop this thing?
4 goals in a row for the Tigers, and Jeremy Weberly has taken the vest off. Surely it's not Jake King.
He's on fire.
He's on the phone.
Well, he's had 8 disposals, 4 inside 50s in the goal, Jake King.
Just for the quarter.
It won't be Jake.
Big couple of minutes coming up here to three-quarter time. Martin, who's had an influence, misses that target. Trenko He took that tackle on, but he didn't have any prior. Umpire surely will sort this out. Umpire praising them, great contest, boys. If Adelaide don't win today, they could still have their worst season ever. Their worst ladder finish. They're 14th now. They've never finished worse than 13th. Jacobs knocks it down. Jackson. Farmer. To the wing. Morton tracks it. Out of play. And for the Tigers, well, we know they're the perennial 9th finisher over time, but they could finish as high as 10th. And they finished with 4 wins in a row, and there he is.
Jacko, we know who
the... Jamie O'Reilly, boys, for Jeremy Webberley.
Well done.
Okay, so the Irishman's done for the day. Jackson pumps it inside 50. Off hands. Miller
this.
Back of the pack. Rewald wants it. Miller goes for it himself. They lead by 10.
Inspired.
Having the latest technology is great, until something better comes along. But rent from Radio Rentals and you'll always be able to keep up with technology, because you can upgrade to the latest and greatest every 12 months. Plus, you don't have to part with all your hard-earned cash. For just a few dollars a week, you can rent just about anything in electrical and furniture. So if you're looking for a great way to get the latest and greatest, there's only one place to go. Radio Rentals. We won't be beaten.
5 goals in a row for Richmond. O'Reilly done for the day in the red vest. Big 1 minute 35 coming up here. Dangerfield tried to manufacture something. Knocked out again by Dangerfield. He got his own ball. Sends it long. Tippett. He needs to grab it. Back of the pack. Rance does well. Just got a palm onto it. Farmer to Rance to Tuck. This is the different Tigers in the last 15 minutes. That just eludes the line out on the full. Adelaide gets some luck.
Yeah, absolutely. They need some luck here, or need some efficiency. They must score a goal before 3/4 time.
Wright puts it up long. Edwards from 3 deep. Left it behind, mops up his little mess. Almost the turnover by hand. Van Berlo can't track it.
Have a look at Rutten here playing safety footy. He's initiating contact. What he should have been doing, he's still worried about that turnover about a minute beforehand. Just go with the ball. Just go with the ball and back yourself in.
Flick down, Jackson to Ledio. Stripped of it, goes back to try and get it post. Slips out of a tackle, Deledio back. Little pop pass, Farmer. Revolt lending a hand. Down to 45 seconds. Big last term coming up at Amy Stadium. The last home and away game here for the year. The Adelaide Crows' last home game for the year.
Revolt going behind the ball since Damien Harwick wants this score to remain at 3/4 time.
Jacobs to Thompson. Down to 30 seconds. Should have been high. Didn't get one. Umpire said he ducked. Riley caught now. Ball up. Couple of breaks not going Adelaide's way now.
No, he just went and ducked back into play, did Thompson, but certainly high contact, so a little unlucky there.
Mark Bickley has backed these boys in. No change of selection this week. Johncock takes them on. Down to 10 seconds. Mark to right.
This will hurt.
They kicked one on the buzzer a quarter ago. Wright gets a chance to do it again.
After being under enormous pressure, conceding those handful of goals, this one just before 3/4 time, or on the 3/4 time buzzer, is just what the Crows need.
17 goals, 8 for the season.
And it might soften the spray from Mark Bickley as well.
I don't think it will.
So he knows where they are. To break a run of 5 goals in a row for the Tigers and give them some momentum. That'll pump up the volume.
Well done, son.
Big round of applause for Mark Bickley as he heads downstairs. Adelaide Crows trying to make it 4 out of 5 under Mark Bickley. They've got the job ahead. It's a 4-point lead to the Tigers at 3/4 time, and they'll be coming home with the breeze. 12-9-81 plays 12-13-85.
Good afternoon. Making 7 News. South Australian pathologists unlock the mystery behind missing teenager Daniel Morecambe's disappearance. A hotel worker slashed with a knife during a violent hold-up at Clovelly Park last night. And vandals caused $100,000 damage after a smashing spree at an Elizabeth car dealership. All the day's news and sport at halftime in the Essendon Power Game.
Great burgers need quality ingredients like wood-smoked bacon, shaved parmesan and fresh free-range chicken. And a chef's recipe doesn't hurt. Introducing Darren Simpson's signature burger range. KFC all chefed up is so good.
With electricity costs rising, solar is the smart alternative. And now, we've made solar power affordable for everyone. Just $199 up front, then 24 monthly payments of less than $160. So call Origin or visit our website today.
Hey, Trav! Can I borrow some sugar? And a fire extinguisher if you have one.
Who'd have believed you can fit that much in a small space and then squeeze in another 50%? New Advanced Omo now comes in one-wash pods with 50% more pre-treaters crammed inside, so you get outstanding cleaning without the fuss. New Omo pods. More pre-treaters, more cleaning power. Omo, Australia's #1.
A couple of months ago, we kept hearing this really irritating noise coming from the back of the car. Drive us up the wall. So I dropped it into our local Ultratune. They were fantastic. They fixed the brakes that afternoon. And now, well, the annoying sound, it's completely gone.
All dads are going to love shopping at Bunnings with a gift card. You're giving him free run of the warehouse. You're letting him have the choice of the warehouse with a Bunnings gift card.
3-piece bistro setting, $49.88. Ryobi 1 Plus drill driver, $199. Raised garden bed, $99. Trojan socket set, $29.50. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
All dads will love a Bunnings gift card.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
When we needed a loan for the pool we've been dreaming of, Ellie and I went straight to Bendigo Bank. Friends had urged us to give them a try, and I'm glad we did. Our loan comes with a great rate, but what we really like is how Bendigo Bank puts significant profits back into the community they're part of, which means quite a few others have ended up with a pool of their dreams too. It's a good feeling being part of something like that.
It starts with you.
Seven's telecast of the 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by Bendigo Bank, supporting you and community footy.
Cochin heads to the square. Jack Revolt's down there. This time, Martin's running into the space. If it bounces, he will go. It bounced unkindly initially. Gets it, toes it, just.
3/4 time at Amy, and we have a game on our hands. The Tigers turned a 16-point deficit at half-time into a 4-point lead at 3/4 time. Gunston with 3. And, Jars, I have to ask you, you managed to rate a mention there from one of the commentators, Danny Frawley. You're guilty of inventing the crow throw.
Yeah, what about that? My lawyer's on the phone already about that one, Bruce.
I reckon you'd just be giving Spud a call and going, thanks for the plate, don't worry. Now, what happened, Jars? Did Adelaide just stop, or did Richmond take over the game?
Oh, Adelaide definitely stopped, Bruce. They stopped their work rate around the ball, and Richmond players started working in numbers, running in waves, taking the ball on forward, and real intensity around the contest. I thought they really made the Crows turn the ball over under pressure.
Now, Benny Rutten, we love him. He's a big, solid defender back there. He is having a nightmare of a game.
Well, look at this there. Any young lad watching that, don't hesitate when you've got the football. And Benny should have just bombed that ball down to their forward line. But too cute, and look at this turnover, and that's where the momentum really swung for Richmond.
Now, what do you make of getting the ball on the goal line and trying to kick it 15 rows back in the stand?
Oh, that's a sign of arrogance. I think any player gets to that situation, just kick the ball over the line, go and grab it and get back and start again.
All right, the stats, they're all in favour of Adelaide. Surprisingly, pretty much every category.
Yeah.
being too much done with the ball?
I think they're overusing the football. 153 handballs to Richmond's 93 handballs. That means Richmond are using the ball, going long and direct to their forwards, getting it in quick where the Crows are stuffing around with the football.
All right, Charles, I'm not giving you a chance to change your tip. You're on the Crows for the last quarter. They're trailing by 6 points. Let's head back to AAMI Stadium.
Yeah, Scotty Thompson and Van Berlo, very quiet that quarter. They had an outstanding first half, so they need to lift. Cochin, Delidio, Jake King, they were tremendous in that third quarter. Can they respond?
Final term underway. Palm down perfect for Van Berlo. Thompson, that kick tells the story. Naha stands under it. The tide has turned here. Naha's short. Rewalt. How's this for a start?
Well, there you go. Jack Rewalt doing what he does best, I reckon, against a big forward or a big defender like Ben Rutten. Get on the lead and honoured by a very nice bit of lace-out work by Robbie Nahas, and that's a very nice pass. You'd suspect Jake Rewalt will get the Tigers off to a very good start and just slot this one through.
Massive kick for momentum. Adelaide kicked the last goal of the third term. Drifting a little, drifting a lot.
That's a big miss. It's amazing the efficient football Richmond are playing, Lynchy. 235 disposals, Richmond. Adelaide, 315. So 80 more disposals, yet the inside 50s are 39 each. So they're using the ball well, the Tigers.
They are, and it's really picked up after that, after the first quarter where they were a bit rusty by foot.
John Cock entrusted with the kick in. Talia was the target. So going to the young gun in game number 8 was their kick-out man. Bright sunshine from the outset. Perfect conditions for football. And we're getting a game. Jackson rolls it to full forward. Vickery just off his toe. He keeps it in. Martin, pocket. Took on the tackler there. Riley's got him. Got to be gone.
Well,
they got him the ground, Spud.
It took 2 players though, Lynchy.
That's right. Very strong man, but just try to take on John Cock and go over the top of him.
We had no idea that Riley was behind him, right in gunshot.
Jim McKernan, dangerous handball. It was dangerous to kick across defensive goal anyway, and we'll get a ball in. Richmond by 5 points.
You can tell they're looking nervy.
Oh, yeah.
Adelaide.
Adelaide are playing like they were a month ago.
Yep.
Jacobs knocks it down. You don't say that. Mark Bickley's done quite well.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, he's done very well. Just slipped back a little bit in the last hour.
To back when Neil Craig was coaching.
Sometimes old habits die hard, Wayne.
Vince, a little 1-2.
Well, they're way here.
And no 50. But he takes off. It's wide and cut off by Tuck. Well read.
Well, that was fantastic by Tuck because the Crows were away.
Hits the top of the square. Revolve.
Oh.
Just couldn't pluck it. Martin, he kicked that from midair, and Vickery pumps it home. They lead by 11. It's their biggest lead of the game.
It was great.
Vacuum cleaner for sale, $80.
That sucks. Come on, you get 3 lines free in Adelaide Trader.
Oh, okay.
Incredible Filth Fighter for sale. Bagless but not gutless. Super sucking power. This domestic defender will fly through your housework.
Much better. With 3 lines for free, you can really sell it in Adelaide Trader every Friday in the Advertiser.
Mark Bickley under some pressure now. He's got Scotty Burns looking over his shoulder in the grandstand.
Absolutely.
All the contenders who want the Adelaide job just having a look at this with interest. Bounce to restart it. Flick down Graham. Everything working for them. Dangerfield trying to turn the momentum back. Sends it too wide though. Gunston can't get there. Ball in. If you've joined us late, Adelaide led by 24 points in the third term.
Kicking with a strong bruise.
And now it's Richmond by 11. An amazing transformation. Graham knocks it down. You sense there might be another twist or two yet, though. Jacobs. Edwards slipped through a couple. Cochin. Dainty. Miller. Poor first half. Big third quarter. Revolt, likewise, same story. Poor first half. Just a four-possession first half with Jack Revolt.
I didn't see that in the first half. That's just a sheer attack on the ball.
That's the thing. He's attacking up at the ball rather than just continually trying to go backwards.
Vickery jumps. Hooley, the crumb. King again, and Martin's on his own. Takes off. Danger signs for the Crows.
Vigo, looking strong, Luis.
We have to take care of ourselves.
Just for men, nothing is easier, nothing looks better.
Still got it.
Just for men.
Shaving is just one of those things your skin faces every day. Now I've discovered Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
A moisturiser that soothes after shaving and strengthens skin.
Now I can shave every day.
Hydra Sensitive from L'Oreal Men Expert.
Because we're worth it.
As well.
They showed some great intestinal fortitude last week. The Tigers, boy, they've shown it again today.
15 disposals, 2 goals.
And Dustin Martin kicked 2 critical goals in the second half last week when he was moved to full forward as well. But for mine, the fact that Vickery has been very effective and Rewalt and Miller have got into the game, just making big contests when needed.
Hayden Riley down the race.
Yeah, sorry, Dwayne, he's just gone down the race with the blood rule. And funny enough, Brodie Martin still not been substituted into the game. I guess the question for you boys upstairs, who would you take out for Adelaide?
Well, it might be the lad then went down with the blood rule. That was the one I was looking at, Jacko. But Adelaide about 11 disposals and 33% efficiency. Since the half-time, they've really put the flamethrower to the ball, Adelaide.
They get a break. Jacobs gets a free. Van Berlo, who had an outstanding first half, hands it up to Thompson, to Vince, to Johncock, who gives them run. Could go for goal himself. Puts it up high, it's touched, it'll be play on. Bounce unkind for Morton. Tap down, right, runs into a gang tackle. Tapped away by Morton again. Big bump on Hooley. He's down behind play, but he won't mind. The Tigers come up with it. Tuck, hands over the top. Weberly, fresh sub on. Sizes the options up, and he hits Nahas lace out. King's running for him. Nahas, hands to King. He's generated some momentum, puts it up, square, Revolt! Not quite. Talia lends a hand, last line of defence. Jacobs, Crows are not done with. Riley from half-back, 17 points the margin. Short pass to Walker. Riley to half-forward, Douglas. And now they start to run again. Options are plenty. Puts it on the boot for Van Berlo. Backtracks. Fantastic grab.
We just see the ball bounce from one end of the ground to the other. Play on again.
Central kick and a one-hander from Taylor Walker.
Yeah, well, I think it was meant for Gunston.
Yeah, bit flat.
Yeah, no, well, Walker did well in the end. And Van Berlo's lifted. He's lifted the start of this last quarter.
And boys, Brodie Martin's come in for Sean McKernan, so substitution for Adelaide Crows.
There's a John Cook bump on Basher Hooley.
Hasn't had much of a day, Taylor Walker. 2 kicks, no goals. From the paint. Makes it his moment.
Made the most of him.
When Eric and I found out I was pregnant again, we knew we need a bigger family room and a new nursery. So we went to Bendigo Bank to refinance our home loan. We're customers because of their great rates and friendly service. But what really makes a difference is Bendigo Bank puts profits back into the community to help build things like this nursery, so mums with prem babies like mine feel at home.
It starts with you.
Crowd noise cranking up again here at AAMI Stadium. Last home game of the year for the Adelaide Crows. McKernan in red. Martin, almost. Still almost. Dangerfield, likewise almost. Does come free. Vince, Armstrong. And now the Crows believe all of a sudden. Douglas, Sloan. Strong hands.
Good hands. Perfect kick. Farmer tried hard to spoil, but just protected the ball, dropped beautifully, Sloan.
Walker wants it long. He's ignored. Gunston the man. And Post With the fist away from Gunston.
Yeah, it wasn't a great kick in the end. It had to go into the corridor to Taylor Walker to have a jump at it, but it was in no way an advantage of the Adelaide players.
Umpire barking instructions. Ball down. Deledio breaks through the pack post. Wobbles it outside 50. Vince couldn't trap it. King falls. Vince goes down. Hands it up just in time. Short pass back inside 50. Tippett. Van Berlo heads back. Jacobs just out of his reach. Farmer runs onto it. Boundary line there if he wants it. Realises it, uses it.
Well played. If he had taken possession of the ball, he knew he was going to be tackled, so just beautifully paddled along the boundary line. Graham goes down here in this ruck situation. It looked nasty, but he's back on his feet.
It's getting tense now. Only playing for pride, but it means a lot to these two. Walker, kick smothered. Sloan, tucked up against the line. Centering kick. Danger ball, chaos ball. Tippett got a knee on it. Bounces out of play.
They expect they've got both Jacobs and Tippett down there for this stoppage, so you'd imagine whether it's Tippett or one of the other players, a third up jumper trying to drag it back into the middle of the ground would be a good idea.
Palm down, Crows with the numbers around it. Wright gets it up. Riley slips one tackle. Caught. Holding the ball. Didn't get it on his boot. They've left the young player Aidan Riley in game 5 out there. Taken McKernan off as the sub. Revolt. Good fist McKay. Didn't give the free away. Jackson caught. Back to Revolt. Some poise from the Tigers. Cochin half forward. Riley with him. Uses the fist. Cochin keeps his feet. Gathers, turns, rolls it Nahas's way. He's got the handle over the top. Vickery needs to be precise. Time, space. No poise.
Trent Cochin, that was outstanding under extreme pressure. Not only to win the ball, to get the ball forward.
Straight down the middle. Cut off by Cochin.
Cochin again.
Great work, Cochin. His work rate has been fantastic. Gets involved almost every time there's an Adelaide player with the ball in the hand. He's chasing defensively, and another key moment in this game.
Well, 21 disposals, 16 contested possessions. He wins all the hard balls. He's been a shining light since half-time.
This kick for a 3-goal lead. It'll be the first time they've led by 3 goals today. Amazing.
On Today Tonight, our public transport bombshell confession.
They were falsely created.
The Insider and the phony student bus passes. Directed to sign for parents.
Without the parents' knowledge.
The dodgy documents used to claim thousands.
This needs to be addressed immediately.
On Today Tonight.
To 18 points.
Well coached Damon Hardwick. That passage of play is indicative of the game at the moment.
Yep.
Riley waited for the ball. Cochin attacked the ball. The kick wasn't great, but you've still got to attack the football.
An enormous amount of time still left in this. 12 minutes, 3 goals. That's the equation. Played 13. Rebounds. Tippett with the palm down. Foley, Ridden.
Good tackle. He's got the high contact. It was good effort, good second effort from Tippett. Dangerfield saw getting up, or struggling to get up. That right shoulder playing up.
Greg plays on quickly. Farmer somehow lurking on the 50 alone. He could shoot from there.
Well, this is a bit like Richmond, the way the Adelaide Crows have been defensively at the moment, just sagging off and allowing too many Richmond players to be in space. Here's the Tippett tackle, but Dangerfield over the top and just landed on that right shoulder that I think's given him some grief all day.
He's kicked 4-1 this year. Mitch Farmer played a bit of football here for Port Adelaide, so should know where they are from the paint. It's across the face. Tippett gets there, but probably a bit early to start talking handy behinds, but that's a handy behind. 19 points, 3 goals, 1.
We've got to find some winners now, and Dangerfield struggling with that shoulder injury. He was one of the real winners in that third term, but he's off injured at the moment, so they've got to find others.
Well, they've got to try and get the ball outside with their kick-ins. The Richmond zone has been outstanding.
Low trajectory kick rolls to the pocket. That's a big win for Richmond.
Well, it is a big win. If you kick the ball in the air, Adelaide would have marked that. So all of a sudden, Adelaide under extreme pressure in his passage of play.
Well, their defensive runs really stopped now. They just can't get the ball out of their back 50.
Jacobs, Rutten both go at the ruck knock. Revolt, he threads that through. And it's another ball in.
And boys, Angus Graham is on the bench. Brad Miller had to take the last centre bounce down, but he's looking okay to come back on.
Let him run, guys. Revolt to do some ruck work with Jacobs. Jacobs holds his spot. Revolt from behind. Slapped it down the front. Cochin threads his way through. Can't get a possession away. Nahas runs into a gang tackle. Too high. Nahas free.
I just thought it was a simple ball up, but he's gone to ground. The umpire's in a great position. What a big kick.
So the big call. Good contest. He was first in there. He was the one.
Yeah. Thompson over the shoulder.
He's almost spun into the Thompson tackle.
The secondary tackler. You're right. The Adelaide player tackled Nahas and his shoulder went under Thompson's arm. But
big call.
They were 24 points down, the Tigers. They've been on the ropes this entire last quarter. They're now on the canvas.
I think you're right, Dwayne. They're on the canvas, and the count's up to about 5, I reckon. So they've got to do something extremely quickly. Now Nahas has to have credit for his attacked the ball, gone in low. But once he's bounced off the first tackle from Rutten, he's spun into the secondary tackle from Thompson. Look, it's probably right, but it's just one of those ones could go either way. But Nahas deserves it really for his attack at the ball, and that's something Richmond need, and that's something the Adelaide Crows certainly have to rediscover.
Crowd still finding voice. That's a good sign for Adelaide.
It's a good sign for the Tigers too. 11 different goal kickers last week, 10 today.
They are surging to the end of 2011 Richmond. Come into this having won their last 2, and their tails are up. Martin thumps it. Miller inside 50, can't go at it. Armstrong gathers, caught. Morton shrugs the tackle, gives to Webberley. He shrugs the tackle, gives to Jackson. Gee, this will be big. He heads toward goal. It's across the face.
Peppering the goals again, and out to 26 points. Somehow they've got to find some movement, and that offensive spread and run that they had early, especially in the first half, has just disappeared at the moment from the Crows. So they need the experienced players to generate that again.
From 24 down to 26 up. This is the biggest lead of the game to either side. Thompson.
And Dwayne, to add to that, they've had 11 more scoring shots, so they've certainly got it inside their forward 50. And in the last month, Adelaide, that's been one of their keys in stopping the opposition from getting inside the forward 50.
Jacobs looks spent. Off the deck from Van Berlo. Not 15. Crowd want a free. They get it. Finally a break for Adelaide.
They're moving on quickly.
McKay. Douglas a fumble, and Martin could make him pay. He runs out of the tackle, Martin. Too much strength. Heads to the goal square. Vickery. Fumble. Gathers. Runs back inside. Goal. Sensational. Great smother. Keeps Adelaide in it. Petrenko. Vince. That was game over there. Petrenko again. Lays a shepherd. And gets a possession, almost. Dangerfield, handball missed him. He goes backwards, high free, and again, no.
Well done.
The umpire yells no advantage again. So even though the Adelaide Crow player took the advantage, he makes them come back.
Yeah, in his defence, he probably thought the ball may have went into Richmond hands. So,
but once you take the advantage, we're told that's it.
Riley did extremely well. One in the marking situation, then great. Two important. The smother was absolutely outstanding.
That was game over.
Yeah, you're right, Dwayne Pipe. It was game over if that one went through. Still got a sneaky chance here. They can use this well through the corridor. They've got players available.
Van Berlo got it from Riley. Gives to Armstrong. On the outer side, running is Rutten. Rewalt's got to try and shut him down. Rutten has some time. Douglas is target. He goes up early and plucks it and plays on. John Cock in the pocket. Well, they quite often send him forward when they're in trouble.
They're lining up. Vince is running into space as well.
He needs to go back and kick it.
Well, this is the hardest pocket playing with that breeze.
He's kicked many from here.
Yeah, but Gunston tried from the same angle in the second quarter.
That's what he has ahead of him. He bends it, but not enough. Out on the full.
Trying to kick it.
Spot on, Spud.
Well, I just think the wind...
Told you shouldn't have had a go.
No, it was weighing it.
50-metre penalty too.
The kick was to tip it. It's as simple as that. They should have went to school on Gunston's kick in the second quarter. And the instructions from the coaching staff would have been, boys, it's impossible to score from that pocket there.
Adelaide Crow players look at the scoreboard. They see that we're into time on. Hurley plays for 50. Yellow cards are being brought in next year. Cotchin heads wide. Webley has some space. This is the kick to win the game. A chest or a goal. Vickery!
He wasn't going to drop that one.
His arm was out of the socket moments ago, and he kicks the goal to kill it off.
That's his fourth goal. Talk about an inspired half of football for Richmond. We talked about the improvement. Webley, the sub. Why wouldn't you go long? And you've got Vickery out there, just a beautiful contested mark. Played on, had a rush of blood, but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it then. He probably wanted to take the pressure off Unister. But have a look at the mismatch here, and he dropped one about 2 minutes ago, so he wanted to make sure he did the right thing by his team because they're working extremely hard in the midfield.
Now Mark Bickley under some pressure, and this is his job interview.
Absolutely. The first time with the coach's hat on, he's been under extreme pressure, but they have the loss against the Cats. But that was a very good performance from Adelaide, but they need to bounce back quickly here.
Supporters are starting to leave too, legit.
Graham knocks it down. Jackson breaks free. Handballs it to Nahas inside 50. Decked. Rewalt, suddenly he's inspired. What about Ty Vickery? The doctors or Ty Vickery, someone made the decision when his arm came out of the socket.
Yep.
Do you want to be subbed off or not?
Yep. Because it was the right time to sort of get Webley into the game.
But he said, no, I want to go back on. They put his arm back in the socket, and he's kicked 2 goals in this last quarter. Webley breaks free, gives it to Nahas. Touched on the line, Petrenko. But it's 33 points the margin. 22 minutes gone, and they're celebrating.
Yeah, Petrenko plays on quickly. Got to get it moving.
Tiger fans going crazy. They've made the trip, and right now the plane ticket looks worth the money.
Just that efficiency off halfback's been a massive issue just in this second half for the Crows. They haven't had the run that they had early in the game.
Most of their big guns have gone missing, and for the Tigers, guns like Cotchin have started firing. Even Miller has had an involvement in the second half after a horrendous opening half. Just a 1-kick first half from Brad Miller. Rewalt attacks that contest. Petrenko, Van Berlo, Petrenko hands it up. Roddy Martin turns it over. The sub comes on, turns it over. Cotchin pokes it inside 50. Hurley, Greg, it's a procession, but he misses.
Okay, we'll have a consult. Just wait, just hold it, just hold it.
Umpire's just blindsided the goal umpire, wasn't sure.
Confident? Yep, just hang on. Dino.
Just making sure they get this right, and we will have video reviews for these situations next year.
I reckon ask the Richmond players, they're all in the zone. I reckon that's a fair signal, it's a point.
Doesn't take long to get it right.
No.
If they need the video, they've got it next year. The pluck from Tippett. Van Berlo. Short, right.
There's a goal.
Douglas from the overlap. Tackled, but he got the kick away. Gunston marks 25 from goal.
And so that is in the video review next year.
Yep, the AFL has consulted the rules committee and the coaches, and it looks like getting the tick. 24 minutes gone on the clock. This to cut it back to 28 points. 5 minutes left.
We've just got to play perfect football now. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely, and that just use the ball quickly, and this sort of run that has been missing for such a long time, and they were doing so well in that first half, but getting players out the back of the Richmond zone was a real issue in the first half for Richmond. They've tightened that up, and this is the first time for about 50 minutes of playing time that we've seen it. So just a sneaky chance, the Adelaide Crows.
Adelaide have gone from needing 6 goals in 6 minutes to 5 goals in 5 minutes. 28 points the margin. Not many have left. Flick down, Tippett. Jackson. Cotchin has the runner out wide in Morton. He knew he was there. Hands it back to Delidio. To half forward, Nahas falls. Ball still alive. The Tigers at least have it at half forward. Martin, a little fumble.
Oh, well done, Martin.
Dives in, mops up his little mess.
He's in trouble now, though.
Yeah, the crowd call for it. The umpire says you're gone.
As a team, as a coaching staff, you wouldn't mind that one. He works very hard to get the hands on the ball.
Otten wants to go to the open side.
Well, a good spread again. Players out the back. There's a chance again.
Vickery punches it down. Hurley was there. Armstrong cuts it off.
There it goes.
5 goals in 4 minutes they need. Van Berlo. He's got Gunston long. He's got John Cock. Gunston the target. And he marks. The seconds continue to run.
Well, he's the player you want in the hands because he's on top of his game. 4 goals straight. 8 marks.
Probably needs to just put the ball on the ground and take 10 seconds to stop the clock firstly and just grab a breath.
A 22-point margin. Strikes it well. Gives them hope.
Absolutely, and they're just still that chance. Yeah, you put down in the book, you can score a goal per minute, and that just still gives Adelaide Crows a chance. Armstrong, good work. He held his line and kept his body in line of the ball and took possession and just set up this forward 50 entry. Van Berlo just kicked the ball almost a little short, but in the end it had enough weight to get to Gunston, and importantly he finished the job. So another clearance here, you never know.
Chance for a NAB Rising Star nomination. Jack Gunston with his game today, 4 goals.
And boys, Andy Otten's just gone down the race for some attention.
4 goals, 3.5 minutes. That's the equation. Thompson shuffles it out. Van Berlo extracts the clearance. Down to 3.5 minutes. Chased down by Delidio. Gets there first. Sloan corrals him to half forward to Weberly. Sub, and he's given them something. Smother, back alive. Lays a tackle on Van Berlo. Ties it up, and that was big. 3 minutes 16 on the clock.
It was well done from Van Berlo to come back and take possession, and then Weberly to wrap up in the tackle was good work as well for the Tigers.
Tippett slaps it to the wing. Thompson should get there first. He's a little spent though. Grigg, Slick, Jackson sees Rebold on the march. Rutten right with him.
That wasn't a good kick.
It's still a win for Richmond. Down to 2 minutes 59.
So what
and Adelaide 4 goals from the lead.
So what they'll do now, they'll get all their numbers compressed into this half of the ground, which will make it nearly impossible.
Well, Adelaide got to run the risk and rip the ball over the top into the corridor.
Martin caught. Rebold jumped on. Umpire might play ball here. No. Decides not to. He thought about it.
Jack Rewald in a bit of strife down there. I think there's a knee in the middle of the chest.
I think Damien Harwick's gone down to the bench too, because he can sense one of the best wins of the season for his young Tigers. Down on the bench now, Damien.
Well, this will be their 8th win of the year after just 6 wins last year. In fact, 8.5 it'll be this year. Edwards can't bring it around the body enough.
And more importantly, Dwayne, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
They've got North Melbourne next Sunday night to really finish off the season with 4 in a row, which would be fantastic for the young players and their confidence.
And you say finish off the season, that game is the twilight game and does finish off the 2011 season. Rutten heads wide. Tippett has tried hard.
He needs to play on quickly. Don't go back over the mark. Just get the ball moving.
Tigers have only won 2 of their last 15 games against Adelaide Crows and only 3 of their last 18 at Amy Stadium.
Walker looks inboard. Ball eludes Douglas. Hurley bounced onto it. Not sure about the kick. Edwards makes it work. Oh, well played. Grigg to Jackson, and he runs away. Hands it just over the head of Nahas. Riley feeds onto it. But we're down to 2 minutes and they need 4 goals. Dangerfield. Vince. And just inside 50, Riley takes the mark. Wants to play on. Still wants to play on. He turns it over.
Needed to give the hands on the outside. It was right. It was just jogging into space, 25 metres out from goal. And for the most part, that's what's let the Crows down. The decision-making. Execution's hurt them as well, but decision-making in the second half.
Graham pushed out of that contest, and Vickery stands tall again.
You talk about, we know he's got a lot of talent. You talk about games where you gain a lot of confidence. Forget the goals.
Games.
Forget the goals. He's kicked 4. It's been the ability to come back after subluxing his shoulder, which is a lot of courage. Well done.
Miller thumps it on. Disciplined move.
And Miller's experience there. Just get the ball towards the Barringer line. Graham will be here. No, actually, Rewald will take the ruck contest here. He wants Graham to jump over the back against Jacobs.
So Adelaide will remain 14th on the ladder and still a chance for their worst ever season in the history of the club. They finish next week with the West Coast at Patterson Stadium.
Playing the pressure from Richmond in the second half, it's been absolutely outstanding.
Now we're 24 points up in the third quarter, the Adelaide Crows, and look to be running away with it. And the Tigers showed immense courage. Sloan to right, open goal square if he wants to go for it, and he doesn't. Gunston.
Nice pass. He'll get this back right. If he wants it, no. Gunston's going to back himself.
He's got to go for it. He's got 5.
Absolutely.
For number 6, and surely a NAB Rising Star nomination. From just outside 50, it's sailing, and it's all the way. It bounced over the line, didn't it?
I think it bounced back.
Oh, can you believe that? And that's the tale of Adelaide's last half. Morton hands it back. Deledio, I was sure that just bounced over the line.
I think it was half a yard short, and it's torn back from 50 metres out.
Tigers are on the way back as a club, perhaps.
On New Bones.
Oh! Do you lie to me?
Can you spot who's lying? This mystery will force Bones and Booth to bring out a few truths.
What I would really like to talk about.
New Bones, tonight on 7.
Hey, I'm having one. Are you having one for the kids?
Saints are having one.
I'm having one.
We're having one.
We're having one.
We're having one.
I'm having one.
I'm having one.
It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. Have a pie night and you can win this fantastic Nissan Navara valued at over $50,000. Help challenge support kids with cancer.
I hope you're having one too.
Look at this chap. If I were this girl, I'd tell him he was acting like a total... That's better. Remember, it's up to you.
Vacuum cleaner for sale, $80.
That sucks. Come on, you get 3 lines free in Adelaide Trader.
Oh, okay.
Incredible Filth Fighter for sale. Bagless but not gutless. Super sucking power. This domestic defender will fly through your housework.
Much better. With 3 lines for free, you can really sell it in Adelaide Trader every Friday in the Advertiser.
Having the latest technology is great, until something better comes along. But rent from Radio Rentals and you'll always be able to keep up with technology, because you can upgrade to the latest and greatest every 12 months. Plus, you don't have to part with all your hard-earned cash. For just a few dollars a week, you can rent just about anything in electrical and furniture. So if you're looking for a great way to get the latest and greatest, there's only one place to go. Radio Rentals. We won't be beaten.
Hey, Trev, can you give me a lift?
Well, what's wrong with your car?
Nothing. But my new insurance policy is based around when I drive most. So I'm not covered on weekends or weekdays after 7 p.m, never on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Yes!
Where to?
I told my nephew I'd take him to the zoo.
Well, I'm headed to the city anyway.
No, the zoo at Monarto, Trev.
Monarto?
Oh, come on.
Out.
It's not that far.
Out.
I made a compilation tape.
Figaro, looking strong, Luis.
We have to take care of ourselves.
Just for men, nothing is easier, nothing looks better.
Still got it.
Just for men.
Death of a beauty queen, scandalous.
How much more cutthroat will this mystery get? Seven's Newcastle, tonight.
Seven's telecast of the 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by the Toyota Kluger, the ultimate family SUV. Swiss, the official vitamin of the AFL. Le Cornu, it's all here. L'Oreal Paris Men Expert, look sharp, not tired. And TAB Sportsbet, you're on at tab.com.au.
This is the kick to win the game. A chest or a goal. Vickery!
He wasn't going to drop that one.
His arm was out of the socket moments ago, and he kicks the goal to kill it off.
And win the game, the Tigers did. They finished 22 points in front, 17-19, 121 to Adelaide, 15-9, 99. Plenty of possession for the Crows. They couldn't put it on the scoreboard. And Jars, halfway through the third quarter, Adelaide led by 24 points. They lost by 22. That's 46 points in 40 minutes of football. That must be most concerning.
Absolutely. I felt the Adelaide Crows boys mentally gave up. They stopped chasing. They stopped doing all the things that got them in front of the scoreboard. So, yeah, disappointing.
What's this mean for Mark Bickley?
Well, I think Mark Bickley, the coaching panel would have looked at Mark Bickley and just seeing what strategy he would have put in place for their defensive action when Richmond got some momentum and there wasn't one.
He had him up the Gabba at three-quarter time. He lifted him there, couldn't do it again at home in the last game in front of the fans. That's disappointing.
Very disappointing, and I think Mark would be disappointed, and so would the senior, the playing group, because some of the senior boys really struggled. I didn't think John Cock had a contribution. Douglas, they really struggled today, as with Walker.
All right, very disappointing for the Adelaide team. They got the West Coast next week as well.
Won't be an easy game, as we know, West Coast top four side.
All right, Jars, stay with us because we're going to take a break. Then we'll be back to wrap it up from Amy Stadium.
Begins Monday, 7:30.
Someone like you.
Tuesday, 7:30. Wednesday, 7:30.
Bloody-tastic.
Thursday, 7:30.
Absolutely outstanding.
Over 4 huge nights.
You're going to want to experience this.
The new X Factor kicks off from Monday, 7:30 on 7.
Officeworks has the lowest prices on the biggest brands in the game. Like this HP PhotoSmart wireless inkjet multifunction with ePrint, just $188. And this HP 4-ink Mega Value Pack, only $110. This Fuji Xerox Laser multifunction, a low $88. And this Fuji Xerox Black Toner cartridge, great value at just $59. And if you find an identical stocked item at a lower price, we'll beat it by 5%.
Taking care of business.
Officeworks, lowest prices every day.
Live your life from the inside out. Pergolas of distinction.
All this month, Pergolas of Distinction will not only improve your home and lifestyle, but also your bank balance. With every Vogue Pergola, shade or carport sold, you'll get a massive $500 outdoor lighting package. Plus, you'll get a whopping 15% off all decking. Hurry, this deal has now been extended until August 31st.
Pergolas of distinction. Inside out brilliance.
Damage, thinning, dullness, brittleness, split ends. 5 problems? I've got the solution. Elvive Total Repair 5, rich in pro-keratin and ceramide. It repairs at the heart of the hair, cell by cell. Repaired, transformed from root to tip. Gorgeous. My hair craves Elvive. 5 problems, 1 solution. Elvive Total Repair 5 from L'Oreal Paris. Australia's favourite? Now mine too. We're worth it.
Some say it's an urban legend. Others swear they've seen it with their own eyes. The panther. They say he works in darkness. He runs with the pack. He's a hunter. Look, he's hungry. The Panther Power Cap sees all. High beam, power beam, floodlights. At only $19.98, the Panther Power Cap is perfect for Father's Day. And it's available at Bunnings Warehouse.
The roads are tough out here, and even if there are roads...
Day after day, they're out there.
If I see a man bag, it's your bag, sir. It's going straight in the creek.
Defending the country against softness.
When did you have your last latte, sir? Purple slippers, sir. Who do they belong to?
A dedicated team of men and women armed with Land Cruisers and Prados.
We appreciate the services of Border Security. Got that one? Toyota, guys, let it through. It's about reliability out here. You need a vehicle that's reliable.
Prado, Land Cruiser, and Country Border Security.
Nothing soft gets in, that's our motto.
Seven's telecast of the 2011 Toyota AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Bendigo Bank, supporting community footy. 4 and 20's legendary Angus beef pies. And Just for Men targets only the grey for a natural look.
I know you're disappointed, Jars, but your toe was tapping there. That's one of the better songs, isn't it?
That and Port Adelaide are my two favourite songs.
Haven't heard the Port Adelaide one all that much this year, Jars.
Neither have I.
The Tigers, once again, finishing the season strongly, but not making the finals.
Absolutely. Disappointing for Damien Harvick, but he's got a lot to work with for next year, and going into pre-season, they'll go with a lot of confidence.
All right, Adelaide's looking for a coach. Put him on it. Who are you picking?
Look, Mark Bickley still ticks a few boxes, but I think they're going to go for Scott Burns if he wants